Wake up, probably.
Yeah, I'm still. Here we go.
Hey,
Hey,
we're live.
we
Ugh.
are live. Oh
Hey,
man, it's already hot on it tonight.
jeez. What's going on, everybody?
How you
Welcome
doing,
back to
man?
another Foodie show.
Yes, yes,
I mean, you still sleeping. Jonesy, what's going on?
dude. I got called into work today and had to troubleshoot two motors, and it was just a nightmare.
Oof.
Troubleshoot two motors. One of them, like twice.
Ugh. That's not the same one you was working on the other day.
No,
Oh, fun
no,
times.
sir. Yeah, so it's all good. It's just,
One of them days.
yeah, yeah. But hey,
We're gonna make the
excited. Excited to be here.
absolutely. Always excited.
hmm So, can never forget that this show is brought to you by Willow Seasoning and Blends. Hey, that Memphis right there is already winning awards. You watch it. All these flavors are delicious. That one right there, Sweet Heat, already won
Yep,
best hot rub on the planet. And if you get yourself a dude box from Frickson Family Farms, you get yourself a bottle of Willows to try out.
that's right. You want to talk? You want to talk about the dude box, or you want to show
Yeah,
them the
let's
dude
talk
box?
about it real quick.
Talk about it then. You got yours, didn't you?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's like I don't know, dude. Their quality of meat is out of this world. It's something else,
It
dude. It's something else.
is.
I buy
It
Prime all the time and that don't look like Fricksons.
I mean, it really is weird. You can taste the difference. It's
Oh yeah. I every time I cook it and my mom finds out, she has to have it. And
there you
she it doesn't matter how much seasoning it has on it. She's got a really sensitive palate.
go.
Uh, she don't care.
There
And
you go.
every time I post something she with Friction, she always comments like, "This is the best tasting beef." There it
Nice.
is. Can't make it up, folks.
Hey, you wanna show them
Yeah,
the
we got a
unbox?
video of that.
Yeah, here we go. I got you.
All right. The moment we've all been waiting for. Frickson Family Farms collab with the Dude Network, folks. Still ice cold. Picanha. Look at that marbling. Unreal. Beef cheeks, super stoked about these. They're not easy to come by around here. This is, but look at this. This is one of the best looking tri-tips I have ever seen. Beef ribs. Look at these dinos. Look at that marbling. 2 packs of beef bacon, some Frickson Family Farms jerky, and a Willow seasoning. All in one box shipped to your house. Let's go, folks. Get yours today.
That's it, man.
Oh, dang, that was a red stapler
Yeah.
production. Crazy.
Yeah. Red Stapler production.
Hey, I'm just saying, they're going like hotcakes, folks.
They are.
It's $1.99, free shipping to most states.
Most things.
If you're outside of that, it's only $20 more. It's really not. It's insanely for what you're getting and that quality of meat. It's
Yeah,
absolutely out of control.
absolutely. Because I mean, if you piece it out, I mean, you're pretty much tit for tat, and you're coming out
hmm
pretty good.
Yeah, but like I was saying, there's Choice,
Yep.
Prime, and Frickson.
Yep. Definitely. It was just like them beef cheeks. I cooked the beef cheeks today, and there was hardly any trimming needed to be done.
Yeah.
It was so leaned out. So,
Oh man,
but it
dude.
was marble. It was marbled, but
Yeah,
all
no,
that.
I know. That's what I'm saying. And like, I did those beef ribs, and
Mhm.
last night I cooked a tri-tip, and it's just freaking,
Oh, I mean, if anybody can speak on tri-tip, you can.
dude. It's just it hits different.
Yeah,
As the kids would say these days, it hits different.
the thing busting.
Oh man, I'm already behind.
Yeah,
Dang it,
that's the new saying now.
bussin'.
Busting.
All right. Well, hey,
Hey, you learn
let me
something new.
tell you, Frickson Family Farms is bussin', folks.
Oh,
So
we got some people already here.
yeah. This is the first one I see.
Well, YouTube took my comment away because I beat Robert.
Yeah, well, you can't beat people. I'm not gonna buy you. Get out of here. We set up the studio. You can just type in and be like, "Oh, thanks for the free. I need another bottle of High Elevation."
That's about what it was.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's up, Mike?
Mike was on last week, folks. Go back and watch that, aka the Trigger Dad.
Right.
Lucy's, what's up?
Tracy.
Where are we at? Wild Eyes. That's our good friend Cindy. Hey, he knows bussing. All right. My bad, guys.
See, I told you. See.
Oh,
Robert knows.
Gosh, Robert. Nah, it's what the first comment when it starts the show, right? No. Hey, I'm behind. I still got to get Massel his and Nate his.
I got you. So
I guess I'll just buy 3.
There you go.
Shoot me your address, homie.
Take it from somebody else.
Huh?
Somebody else will beat Robert.
Yeah. All right. So we got a good one tonight, man.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
You pulled him up. Hey. I actually reached out to him and he was like, "Oh, I was just talking with Damon about that." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, man, straight out of Texas.
I know, and hey, it's cool though. Don't get upset with us, guys. Yes, we got a Texan on, but he's a little cooler than Nombre.
Yeah, he's a little cooler.
Just bear with us, all right?
I don't even know what to say because Nombre's gonna be mad.
I know. Hey, but one thing about this guy, dude, is I'm serious. First of all, this guy cooks beef perfectly every time. Mm-hmm. It's medium rare perfectly every time. I love seeing it. But I love watching his taco game.
Yeah.
His taco game is out of control.
He can throw it down.
I just see just like full of all kinds of different. It's crazy. I love it. I know he can, huh?
He can break it down for us tonight, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a little secret.
He's not. I mean, after talking with him a little bit, I feel his name is Girldadbbq, but I got a feeling he's way more of a whole foodie than just barbecue. So let's get to it.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, there we go. Hold on, we're gonna throw you for a loop. There we go.
Oh, see now I'm looking down here now. I mean, I guess I could look at Damon's face. At least that's pretty now. You just upgraded the good looking on the bottom
for you.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, how is it every time we have the perfect evolution of beards? I hope we get the comment again.
Yes.
This thing right here is like I'm new to the beard game still. I feel like it's like a new thing for me still because every time I wake up in the morning, I'm like, thank God I have. Because if I shave this thing, I look like I'm 12.
Yeah. I just look like a weird, old, younger, chubby version of myself. It's like this weird morph. Like someone just took a picture and aged it, and put some weight on it. Yeah, that's not great.
I got pulled over like when I first got this thing going, and the cop was like, "First of all, you're like 40 pounds heavier." The second thing was, it's like your beard is luckily like you look okay, like you can tell in the cheeks and the eyes and stuff like that. But like I had to get a new photo because of because when he said that, I'm like, dang man, like thanks a lot. And like and granted the picture was from when I was 21, so it's been like 15 years. So forgive me, officer, that I haven't got a new picture in 15 years.
Yeah.
Marriage and barbecue,
I mailed in mine forever, so mine was like the one I took for my permit for a long time.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, I don't want to stand DMV lines.
Exactly. But now, see, I don't know if it's like this everywhere. If you guys have AAA, I don't know if that's everywhere. But So AAA is like an insurance, but a roadside assistance company insurance you can buy.
Yeah.
And all their establishments are like hooked into the DMV. So if you need to do anything besides like change an ID or something like with your name or that's a little more legal, but like you can go get a new license, I'm pretty sure, at least take a picture. It's so convenient. I mean, dude, we've transferred boat titles, all kinds of stuff, because it's like you walk in, wait 30 minutes tops.
That'd be nice. I mean, we have a place. It used to be old like Albertsons or something, and it's this huge DMV. So like they move pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
But now, just like recently during after COVID, they said, okay, we're gonna start giving you alerts like, hey, you're about 30 minutes out. You should come to the DMV now. So at least it's nicer where you're not having to wait all day. You literally, say because you have an appointment at 9:00 and like, oh, we're delayed, so we'll give you a heads up to leave. Put how far your house is, and it's like, leave now to be at the DMV in time for your meeting. I'm like, so
No problem.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. Instead of having, because, dude, here, I mean, I'm sure it's like it everywhere, but dude, that is a marathon wait line. I gotta show this one real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, number?
The only other cool Texan. No,
Dude,
I'm just kidding.
So I met him. We were doing at a live fire
cool
thing.
Texans, yeah.
Yeah, I met him at a live fire thing. Yeah, so not that one that they did a big one. It was Al Fergoni's like kind of like raw for his little hangout pad that he had in Bernie, Texas. And
you were at the last one, the last Bernie one,
not the last Bernie one, not the big one where they did the steer, but
yeah,
not that one.
The last two raw.
So I met Nombre and his wife there, and awesome people, genuine as can be. He definitely married up. She married down.
Oh, dude, trust me, you're not the only. That's a well-known fact here on the Dude Network, bro.
Yeah, I mean, but there are some awesome people. I'm not gonna lie, and I've been trying to get down to South Texas just to pop in and say hey, but I haven't been down there since 2019.
To be fair to Nombre, though, usually it's a theme here on the Dude Network. Like we all kind of somehow made that stretch up.
Hey, man, more power too. I'm happy that hey, you know what? Not everybody can do it. I did it. So I mean, you make sure when you marry up and marry good. That's what. Especially when they put up with all our crap.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, Nombre's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, he made some bomb mochitos. I think that's what they're called. And I don't even know what it is.
I can't remember what those are right now.
I want to say it's something that has to do with the stomach.
I know, and I know we've talked about him before on the show too, because I know he's talked about him before.
Yeah, he's I never had them before, and they were rich, but they were good.
Yeah, I've never not a big stomach dude.
It's different, but you think of all the weird stuff of an animal, and it's just hey, why not go ahead and do it? I mean, it's a try.
Oh no, yeah, I ate a pig's eye one time, and the brain, and let me tell you, dude, if you want like the richest, purest pork taste you've ever tasted, the brain. But be prepared. It is the consistency of pudding, and that is very, very difficult to choke down.
I'll take the mochitos. I think that's what they're called all day. I'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, like, granted, it was just slow cooked, and like somehow they'd gotten into it, and they're like, me and my buddy were like 15. Yeah, 14, 15. They're like, "You want to try this?" And we're like, "We're not scared."
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's how, I feel like that's how I grew up eating tongue eating but now I love tongue.
Well, lengua when it's cooked correctly, so good. It can go wrong kind of quick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, and I've seen some, and I've been at roadside stands. I look at them like I'm good. I'll stick with the stuff I know it looks good, but man, like I have a lingua I'm actually gonna take out for next weekend. So
yeah, I don't have the stones to cook it myself yet.
So I was gonna go with I was gonna boil it, peel the outer layer off of,
Yeah.
smoke it, and then put in the braising liquid to because I want it to shred.
There
I
you
want
go.
to like we are talking about
Okay.
the fat line. Yes. Okay. So that's why it's so rich, because it has the livers and the
It's
heart.
the fat lining of the stomach wrapped livers and heart.
Yep.
Definitely not doing the liver one. I'll try the one with the heart, but I'm out on the liver. I've tried it, folks. It's not for me.
I'm good.
I'll
Nope.
do a beef heart isn't bad. The liver to me that's where the richness comes from. I'll grind it up, and put in some things you can't really taste it that much. You get the iron taste.
Yeah. If I'm just like pulverizing it and putting it in something else, I'm down for that all day because of what you're saying. Because
Yeah.
organs, those ones, a lot of them are really good for you. Really, really good for you.
I mean,
and
look at the liver. Look at the Liver King. He's all natural. I mean, all that.
Yeah. How did that work out for
Right. That's a whole different topic. But yeah. So what did y'all cook today? I know Damon, he did some stuff.
Yeah, I done some beef cheeks and chicken bog. So
and chicken
cheeks.
what?
Chicken bog. Chicken bog. It's a southern thing.
Oh, bog. Chicken bog.
Bog.
Well, I don't know what that is. I mean,
It's
that's
bog
Eastern
like the swamp, or bog like chicken's bog?
B-O-G.
Okay.
That's that southern slang.
That's an Eastern Southern thing. That's the Carolina.
Yeah, it's a regional thing here. People call it different. They call it like chicken perlo, and it just depends on where you're from. But it's just basically just chicken and rice.
Chicken perlo?
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard that one before.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Like I said, it's just way you season up chicken, rice, and sausage. So,
not hearing anything I don't want to hear.
Yeah, I'm like, don't twist my arm. I'll take a bowl.
Right.
Yeah, that's. I feel like my growing up, like when Mom would cook, that was our staple, is chicken and rice. Like, there's nothing.
Oh.
I mean, no offense to Mom, but she can cook about 4 things, and that was one of them, and that was about it. Like chicken and rice, and just all in one giant casserole dish, raw chicken, and then the rice and some broth, and that was it. Like, that was and then her 3 favorite seasonings: salt, pepper, and garlic. That's it.
You can't beat that.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, but I love Mom to death. She knows it. She knows she can't. She's not the greatest cook, so they obviously did not rub off on me. So.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the joke in our family. Like, my dad can cook really, really well, but I'm used to a different seasoning amount profile.
Right.
And he also lives with my mom and has to cook for my mom to eat too. And she has like the most sensitive palate now. It's unbelievable. Like, she'll be like, "Oh man, you really spiced this up." When I have barbecue, I'm like, "Dude, there's literally like, that's my sweet rub, and there's no pepper in it."
Right.
But oh man, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't remember, but it's just sorry.
I know.
It's been a wild day.
No, I'm sure. So you said you were working. Did you get any sleep at all?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got called in Friday, worked late, missed the show on Friday night, and then it was cool. Yesterday I didn't get called in, but then getting called in early and so the elevator's also broken at work, and I did 40 flights of stairs in 6 hours in like 11,000 steps. That was just at work. I'm like,
I think I've done 40 flights of stairs maybe this year.
Right. Dude, it's like, if you look at the averages on like the apps on the phones and stuff, like it all went from like 7 to 12, like the average. It's like there's some days you have to go higher up in the building a lot more, whatever, to like 23, 24 average. Like, good Lord, man, we didn't double, we tripled. We're swinging for the fences here.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm an electrician, so
yeah,
it's a mental mind game the moment you just start troubleshooting, because you just like go from here to here, like, okay, well, I fixed one, go find out this one is not fixable, and we don't have a new one. So, okay, button this up, order a new one. In the middle of that, I find out the one I just fixed, it's tripping again. So then it's like, okay, I replaced the part that was bad. Now what is it?
Right.
So then it's just like, okay, try it. Oh, okay, nope. All right.
Yeah.
It's just until you figure it out.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
I'm telling you, I couldn't do it. There's no way. It's just like electricity and plumbing. Two things I'm going to hire somebody for right away. Especially electricity, because I have that one fear that I'm gonna do the wrong thing and you're gonna see a fried me, like cook perfectly rare at 205.
Yeah.
Like there's no that's like my biggest worry.
oh yeah, and I'm telling you, electricity hurts. It just hurts.
Oh yeah.
I got hit really bad one time, and I didn't even know it was happening to me until it kicked me off.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just stuck this thing in, and then I just my teeth hurt for hours, and not like I had slept wrong or chewed too much. Like the whole front of my face was just like, oh, dude, it's another level.
It's something nothing I'm going to entertain at all. That's something like my father's a home builder, so and I have no understanding of it whatsoever. He's been doing it since he was in his teens.
12 or something.
Yeah, and so now he's no longer building. Now he's just he's the big guy.
He's in charge.
Yeah, and he's been in charge for a while. But man, like there's no way, because he knows a lot of stuff. And there's no way I could even take a tenth of it. Like I know how to build stuff. I know how to build stuff, but there's no way I could actually, especially when it comes to electrical. Like it's just he's like, Jose, oh, you just because I had something wrong with my electrical box. Oh, you just do this, and this. I'm like, all I heard was that if you mess up, you're gonna get electrocuted. That's all I heard. So
well, and it's like that's residential. Does he build houses or?
Yeah,
commercial?
so he does multi. Well, he did both for a hot minute. So he's mainly done residential, big multi-million-dollar, homes, like stuff where I won't ever buy one, but but they're big houses.
So most of my electrical career, I've been an industrial electrician. So big factories, big power. The thing is amps. Everybody's like, "What's the volts?" The amps is what's going to kill you.
Right.
And I'm talking like we built panels that are 480 volts with 2,600 amps or a couple 2,600 amp breakers in the switch gears, which power the panels and blah, blah, blah. But now I work at a power plant where we create power and put it on the grid. So,
right.
And with the key to electricity, people, is not like what's there or like, will the breaker trip? It's the potential. So the potential is at the pole at your house is that transformer. So whatever that can get through to you is potentially, until everything else in the system fries or melts, is potentially what you could just be sucking up. And that's no bueno.
That's a lot. That's a lot to take in.
Real quick before we get off electricity, because that's not what we're here for.
Yeah.
The craziest thing to me about electricity is like what kills you with electrocution is it put your heart off rhythm. Mm-hmm. But the only way to put your heart back on rhythm is to shock you again.
Yep.
I've just always found that part fascinating. Yep. But anyway,
it's crazy to think about that. Oh wait, your heart's out of rhythm. Shock it again.
Yeah. Oh no! Turn it up a little bit.
Nope, still at a sinus, and then get it back in the rhythm.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
So Kris, tell us about Kris and how Girldadbbq started up.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, so back in 1987. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going back to my birth and stuff like that. So, well, funny thing is, I started doing barbecue when I was younger. I mean, my dad. He learned to cook from of all people, his mother. She's the barbecue in the family. Awesome. And her brothers. They were the ones who would cook in barbecue. My grandmother to this day still will not shake away from her drum smoker. She has the horizontal drum smoker. It opens up. Yeah. And so she sets charcoal. She's a straight charcoal lady, just charcoal on one side, water pan, and that's it. Like whenever she had to buy a new one, when they went from like, $35 at our local grocery store to $100, I thought she was gonna lose her mind. But it's true. I mean,
I believe it. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, what the heck happened?
Yeah, and it's the same dang thing. Nothing's changed. It's a 55-gallon drum. They just cut in half. That's all they did.
Yes, I know.
So I started doing barbecue.
In fact, the legs probably have gotten worse over the years.
Oh, no doubt. And I think the only reason why she actually had to get a new one was I think it. I want to say when the legs were up. I think something rusted, like something like. Like maybe water got into it and a storm and a hurricane or something like that.
Yeah, or usually like the part where you put the fire the most will rust out right there. Yeah.
Yep. So I started doing like 6 or 7, like just helping my dad out. Put the wood here, show me how to season stuff. Nothing too crazy, but obviously I wouldn't like chopping wood or something like that. But coincidentally, my dad built an offset smoker, actually a reverse flow offset smoker, the same year I was born. So he calls him my twin brother. And
love it. I love that. Yeah.
And unfortunately, this thing, like when he built it, cost him like $1,500. And it's the length of it. It's probably about the length of a car. You walk up on it. It's reverse flow.
Oh, dang. Okay.
And and to this day, he still claims that he is the first reverse flow smoker built before Lang. But he messaged them saying, no, I beat y'all by 2 years or something like that. But they just say we're the first commercial ones. That makes sense. So it's still around to this day. It's a little rusty. We don't use it anymore, and we've looked at rebuilding it. It's gonna cost like $15,000. I'm like, and that's with some modifications. So
yeah,
I've been cooking off and on since I was a kid. Whenever kids were going to camp, my dad put me in like culinary, like cooking, like little classes. They would take us to this grocery store that did kid cooking classes, and him and my mom would go and have wine and dinner at a place just next door, and they'd leave us to learn these cooking classes with me and my sister, which is, hey, that's kind of cool.
Nice. Heck yeah.
And I'm
a little jealous.
Yeah. It wasn't like, I mean, you're learning how to do simple stuff. And I think the main reason was because both my parents worked. They needed, we were back then, you could leave your kids home at, a little earlier. Nowadays it's a little frowned upon, but, we had to learn how to cook. We learned how to, make sure we were fed and not just on cereal,
Right, yeah.
So, first of all, I'm going to show you how to make an egg in a microwave. Then it gradually graduated to actually using the stove and whatnot. And then, so on and off cooking my entire life, just, on various different things, whether it be the offset smoker. I had a propane grill. And then when I moved into college, I'm just we're going to fast forward through all the craziness of cooking because and then college, I got a hand-me-down grill from another guy who was leaving.
He was
leaving. So he's like, here, take this, do with what you please. And it was so he'd had it for 2.5 years. It was fairly good shape. He took good care of it. He's like, my only thing asked is keep care of it and then pass it on to somebody else. So that's what I did.
Sick.
So hopefully, I mean, I doubt I'm pretty sure it's gone now. It's probably been, rusted out and stolen or something like that. But hey, it lasted. So
that's a badass story right there.
It's cool because like I didn't know this guy didn't know me. We didn't know each other. He just goes, "Hey, I'm graduating in a few weeks. I'm moving out. Do you want my grill?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like because that way I don't have to go to like the community grill or go home or whatnot. It's there so I can do it, especially because I was there Monday through Friday, or it was actually Sunday through Thursday because I went to Sam Houston State University, which is like the only thing we're known for is two things. We are actually okay in Division 2 football. We actually lost to the Bison. One of the I think it was North Dakota Bison. Okay. And that's when I can't think of the name football. The quarterback now, he played for the Eagles. Carson Wentz was there.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. So we lost to them really bad, obviously. But anyways, and the second thing is we have that's where the state jail is. So the birthplace of the electric chair.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
That's so
Dude,
mind you,
holy shit. Can we talk about this? Like, remember the last conversation we were just having, folks?
Dude, I'm telling you, like, exactly. So you can actually go there to this day. They have a museum You can go see Old Sparky, the original electric chair
Yeah.
from Texas. So and it was actually we got bonus credits. We got bonus credit to go see that thing. It was cool.
I would have definitely went for sure.
I'm a history nerd too, so like I know it's really dark and glim, but like it's kind of cool because it's history. It's not only Texas history. It's prison Texas history. I guess is that a genre?
Yeah.
But
Texas has a genre for everything. All things Texas.
Right. So crazy thing. Did y'all grow up with your own state history? Like for instance, like we had Texas history. We have at least a 2-year course.
2 years?
Well, like two like semesters. So like not in college, just in high school. In high school, we have to take Texas history.
Oh no.
We didn't know.
We took I remember California history early on in elementary, a little bit of it, and then when you do U.S. history, you talk about California Gold Rush and a couple of things, but we didn't.
We had our own designated class for Texas history, and it wasn't a thick book like your history, U.S. history, but it was fairly thick. So we had to learn about Texas history. We had our own Texas, Pledge of Allegiance.
Dude, it's great. Hey, so Nombre will spit off facts once in a while. We have this text thread with all of us,
right?
And we'll be giving him crap about something, and he'll go, "Oh, hey, this happened on this day, by the way," and we're like, "Dude, you know so much about Texas." He's like, "Yeah, because we had to learn about it."
Dude, it is one of those things where it's just it's stupid little things that keep in the back of your mind, and I think that was one of the things that I remember driving across the state, to go hunting or something like that. My dad knew him, so he would just pound them into me there, all these different knowledges. So
get away from him.
Exactly, but I love it though. It was. I mean, it's kind of cool when your state has its own history, but
oh boy.
So where were we talking about? So then we talked. So college, the grill, all that stuff like that. It was just, and then so I graduated in 2012 for college. And then I didn't have a grill again until my wife bought me. So I passed it on to somebody else. Hey, and I found some kid that looked like he was, going to treat it right. I don't know if he did. It's like the traveling grill. There should be a movie like The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yeah.
Traveling grill.
Oh, dude, that'd be a good one.
Screenplay. I'm gonna start doing that now.
There you go.
You didn't hear that, everybody.
Yeah. Everybody steals it. Copyrighted right now.
Yep.
So then we went into. I didn't have a grill forever because I was just working my butt off. I literally left. So I worked at a bar and ran a bar, and then I left shortly after that to take I was working 3 days a week, making more money, and then I took a demotion to work at Enterprise Rental Car. And so I'm like, this is my, I was making. I took a big dollar demotion to do that. So anyways, but so my wife got me my first grill. Gosh, that was almost 9 years ago. And so all the grills to this day, she has bought them technically. So as gifts and whatnot or surprises.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right?
Exactly. Most guys get in trouble for getting another grill.
Yep. So this is so it's her fault. It's actually her fault that this addiction has come up. But also she gets fed. So I got a Weber kettle. And we're living in an apartment, and we have a Weber kettle. Right before my neighbor leaves, he hands me his old Smoky. Was it Smoky Joe? It was a vertical smoker, cylindrical, and it was a 3-piece tier. I can't think of what the damn brand name is.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's like maybe a Brinkman, maybe or something, but it was you had the charcoal, you had the cooking area, and then you had the lid on top. I can't think of the dang name, but it was. Yeah,
I know exactly what grill you're describing.
The Weber Smoky Mountain.
It was kind of like that, but it wasn't. It wasn't
though.
Yeah, it was. I want to say it was Brinkman, maybe, or like that brand or something like that. But it was in bad shape. But I had a smoker, and I had my Weber, and then, fast forward all the way. I started, and I've always done offsets. That's what I grew up with, offsets, and I thought pellet grill was like sacrilege. Just don't even talk to me about that. I made fun of those guys. But then now I am one of those guys because obviously everything evolves. Cooking evolves. if we weren't doing that, we would all be doing open fire like no bread, just doing open fire like crazy, you know. And I love it, and I can still tend to fire I'm actually, it's nothing's left my mind. It's just everything evolves, and there's nothing better than that charcoal and that real wood smoke. But obviously, the simplicity of a pellet grill, it's right up my alley sometimes. So
exactly, bingo.
Yeah. So my wife got me my first pellet grill, hand me down. It was actually one of the last Traegers. It was a hand me down, one of the last Traegers made in America. So it was so in my I actually ended up now give it to my cousin's husband. He has it. He redid it all like to the nines, like just made it look awesome.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So back then I was just cooking for fun, you know. There was no Girldadbbq. There was just, you know, Kris French. That was it. That was me. That was all I did. But so I travel for work. I'm in medical sales now, so I travel sometimes anywhere from 2 to 4 days a week. I cover 3 states: Texas, Louisiana, and I guess I'm temporarily covering Arkansas right now, so 2 states plus a little bit extra. And but man, so when COVID hit, what else is a traveling salesman who works in hospitals gonna do? I mean, I went from traveling to like nothing, just sitting at home and, you know, staring at a screen just like this, talking to people. And I was like, I started cooking a lot more. My wife was the predominant cooker on the weekdays, and then the weekends I would smoke something, and it started to switch. And then all of a sudden, my personal account became. I was like, man, I was thinking about this. We just found out we're having our second kid is a girl. I'm like, man, I think I want to try this. I want to give this whole thing a try. I take pictures already now, and I post to my personal account. Let's go ahead and try out doing it for real. And then I was teetering around with a bunch of names, and then Girldadbbq came up, and I told it to my wife, and she literally just was like, "That's perfect." Like and I said, she's like, "What is your logo going to be?" And I don't know. Like, I wanted to incorporate. So I told her, because she made the logo. I said, I want you to incorporate. Yeah, I want you to incorporate it. I want it to be pink. She's like, pink? I'm like, really? And I'm like, yeah. Like, I guarantee there's not a lot of guys out there with a pink logo. And I want Texas involved with it. She's like, okay. So she played around and ended up came up with it. And it just kind of, you know, I started out with like, you know, 90 something followers. They were all friends and family. Yeah, you know, and it's still weird. I remember like Damon was one of the first people I started talking to on the regular. Like, we've been talking like since way back when. And actually, man, I don't even think I pulled your code. Somebody stole your koozie. It's in my ad. I get it back from the other day. So yeah, I mean, so Damon and I've been talking.
Weber Ninja says what's up,
dude. So he's a cool dude. He's from Texas. He is a Weber Ninja, dude. He is a Weber
Ninja. Exactly. Best name to fit the man right there.
And so I've never seen one of those big giant Webers until I saw his. You know,
the ranch kettle.
The ranch kettles, those things are huge.
It's like 38 inches or something like that. They're so massive, dude. Yeah. I might be a little bit off. It's in the 30s. It's huge.
It's big. Because I saw the Kamado looking thing the other day, and then seeing the ranch next to Kamado, you're like, the Kamado's big, but the Kamado looks small compared to the ranch.
Yeah, it looks like a little Smoky Joe that sits on a tabletop.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, but yeah, so I mean, like, so I think when I switched over to Girldadbbq, I was like, we're just gonna do this. I wasn't really consistent because I was traveling a lot, and then I started gaining followers, and like, I'm just trying to push the limits. You know, I want it, and I'm not just barbecue. Like, I can't. I mean, the other day I did.
No, you're not. That yeah.
The other day I did poke bowls. Like, I mean, like, and like, I want to try to push everything possible. If you can do it inside, we've used our oven since 2019, 2020. I've used my oven 6 times. Maybe I'll say under 10. And
exact same, probably. Yeah.
And that's the reason why I think that's the reason why I like the pellet so much better, is because if I'm going to fire up my oven, especially in Texas when it's 100 degrees outside,
dude.
Yeah, I don't. Exactly. Why do I fire that thing up, warm up my house a little bit? Granted, it probably won't warm up that much, but why don't I do the same thing infuse a little bit of smoke on something, like simple as a casserole, or simple as, I mean, if I make pizza, like, which, I mean, that's like that's my favorite. It's like wood fire pizza, and but hell, even like chocolate chip cookies, like to me,
Yeah.
like
I
that
still need to
is,
do some cookies on
oh.
mine. Yeah.
But do you
I'm
make sure
slacking.
now when you do, just put a little bit of flake salt on it, and like I'm a I'm simple chocolate chip,
Yeah.
maybe pecan if I'm feeling crazy, but like just a little bit of flake salt, or a little bit of kosher, the thick salt on there,
I
and with the
feel-
smoke.
Sorry.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah.
I
I
was
mean,
like leaning into the screen like a little teenage girl, like, tell me more.
yeah. I
Oh
mean,
man.
there was things like you just kind of push the envelope. See, what can you
Mm.
do to push the envelope to make something better, or rather be on a
Mhm.
smoker, rather do it on the grill, whatever, and
Yeah, grill, smoke, grill, like all
yeah,
kinds of combos. Yep.
Yeah.
and the greatest thing about it is that you don't really notice it, and you don't really notice the difference until you don't have it,
Don't
you
have it.
know. And when
Hmm.
you go to like somebody else's house and they're cooking up something that you're like, oh, that'd be great on the grill, that'd be great on the smoker, and then you taste it and you're like, there's something missing.
Mhm.
And you think about this, ovens used to be wood fire, like, I mean,
Hmm.
and it was more for cooking, but it also imposed flavor.
Right.
And there's so many countless things out there, rubs and seasonings, injections, and just and everything's that we always focus on flavor. Like it can kill a dish, or too over flavored, too under flavored. And I think nowadays it's, why not go ahead, and if you're gonna make it, I mean, hell, I made pies, freaking
Mhm.
cheesecake. I mean, it's simple, something so simple, like I think one of my favorite things I've ever made that was a dessert was freaking pumpkin pie.
Nice.
And a pumpkin pie on the grill, like it was divine. Like I'm
See,
telling you, because it
I
was
need
it
to
was
Yeah.
do a
good.
cheesecake so bad on the smoker.
Yeah,
Because I've seen it and I was like, oh dude, when I saw that, that's when I was like, okay, I think I want a pellet grill now.
yeah,
Like if
Mhm.
it, because that's when I knew, oh, it's an oven, but
it
Yep.
is.
with wood flavor. Awesome.
Yep.
Let's okay. And I have a pellet grill too, and I haven't done I haven't done a cheesecake yet, but my favorite. I'm not a I don't eat a lot of pumpkin pie like ever really,
Hmm.
but pumpkin cheesecake,
Oof.
like
Don't tease me
dude,
with a good time.
I know. So oh yeah, like when you're saying like can it be better? Like I can't go back to just doing meatballs in the oven anymore.
No,
It doesn't taste the same anymore. Like
Nope.
I mean, I'm
it's a trip how that just like completely like nope, you can't have it. You can't go back. You
yeah,
can't.
and don't get me wrong. I mean, like the oven has its place. Like, I mean, like for instance, like when my wife does holiday cookies, like with this just a little simple break and bake cookies, like the ones that have the little crazy design in them.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
that's fine. I'm not gonna You're not gonna do that much. But like when we're doing something else, like we're using this
Hmm.
99% of the time, because we want that little bit of
Yeah.
something extra.
Yeah.
And at first my wife was like, again, like at first she was like, everything's going on the grill.
Yeah.
My family was the same way. Like they're like, oh my gosh, you're gonna do everything on the grill? I'm like, why not? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's to me, if I get it, and now I think about it as like, at first I was like, well, it's just more content, but now I'm like, I need the flavor. I want the flavor.
Yeah, yes, exactly. It started out as like, oh, I need, but I need to cook it on here, so let me just do it. To now,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, you're cooking. Okay, all right, I guess.
yeah. I mean, and
You don't want me to. It's like two buttons. Like
yeah,
I
I'm like, well,
got.
dude, now that my oldest one's 6.5. I go, hey, baby, go out there and just turn the grill on. Okay, what temperature? And she the dial. Like, and now, granted, my grill has a Wi-Fi ability,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's something that she can do, and she takes pride in it, even though she's just pressing buttons. But in
yeah,
her mind, she's helping dad out,
That's
yeah,
right.
and anything that they love. So the two things they do: they turn on the grill, they open the door when dad's coming through with meat, and then
yeah,
and
yeah,
like, dude, because and like now my little one, she's 2.5. She literally will, I'll do it, and she just sprints to the door, like
yeah.
crashes in the
My
door.
turn!
Yeah. No, they fight over that now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and the older one, she likes to spritz. So like that's she knows that's I get her a step stool and she just spritzes like that. I'm like, yeah, it's so simple, like little things that just make them like just so excited about
Well,
it. And
dinner's good because I spritzed mom. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
dude, I'm telling you. So like I told you guys beforehand, we went camping
Mhm.
just past week. So like a year and a half ago, I don't know if it was a trend then or but anyway, smoked cheese. Remember smoked Cheez-Its?
Yes.
Like, dude, I love
It's a
smoked
religious
Cheez-Its.
experience, people.
Yeah. So if you've never done smoked Cheez-Its, you don't gotta do something crazy. Like I do it two ways. One way, I literally just take the dry ranch powder
Hmm.
and then pecan rub for like a sweet, savory thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
then
doesn't sound bad at all right there.
No.
no. And then the other
Uh,
day, I just did a rub. It's garlic. It's a garlic butter rub,
mm,
you know. And
ooh.
man, like it is. I'll just olive oil, toss it around, and then do that, and that's it. Like 2 hours later, you're there. And it doesn't matter if you do the Cheez-Its or the off-brand. It's still good. But
Oh,
we took
yeah.
that camping, and my wife's cousin's little girl. She's 9. She goes, is Uncle Christopher bringing smoked Cheez-Its? And then her mom goes, yeah, yes, like just excited. Like I was told this secondhand. I'm like, that's awesome because
Yeah.
to me, like that's awesome. Like but I
Yeah.
mean, smoked Cheez-Its are it's just amazing. I've tried multiple things, like trying to do but the white cheddar is not the greatest, but just the plain
The regular,
Cheez-Its.
yeah.
I mean, and it takes 2 hours. Like I do mine for 2 hours, so
Yeah.
you can do it more if you want more smoke. But it gets them a little crispier,
Mhm.
to me. But that little and that little bit of oak and cherry just kind of just sets it off. So, but yeah, I mean, long walk off a short bridge. That's so I started just doing this for fun, and then now and I had a couple of videos hit viral, which I don't really. To this day, I'm still like, whatever. Like it's cool. It's still cool. Like, but
Mhm.
mainly, I feel like when they go viral, that's where the haters come into play.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and
Yep.
like at one time, I went on TikTok. I literally had to almost and I turned off the comments, and they started attacking other videos. So, and I was like, forget it. I'll just let it go out. I'll just let it fizzle out. And it finally fizzled after like 3 weeks. But I'm like,
Good
yeah,
night.
yeah, it was bad. It was like 3.1 million views, and it was like, and when I turned off the comments for literally 30 seconds because people were attacking other videos. Like not so much they weren't attacking that video. They just say this food looks good, but I'm gonna go ahead and attack this one because I'm gonna attack your old video because I can't tag it on there.
Right.
I was like, so that was off. But I also asked for that when I trolled people saying that a medium rare because we were talking about medium rare before I got
Uh-huh.
on. I messed up a tri-tip. I did. I'll be honest with you, and it's because it was a holiday. I was messing with the kids. I was reversing a tri-tip, and it was over medium. Like I'm not gonna lie, but it was a side by medium rare steak, and I trolled them, and people like immediately jumped on it. That's not medium rare. No, duh. Like really, like
Yeah,
I've been doing this for a little bit.
dude. So
I
I
mean,
cooked a tri-tip medium. I don't listen. I tried the brisket tri-tip one time.
yeah.
It is now in a frozen package labeled dry tip,
Right.
and it'll get used in like some sort of chili or something, whatever. But I posted it, and this dude, like, I'm looking. I said, "Me around." I go, "I bet you a bunch of people are gonna go. That looks rare. That's way not." And some guy goes, "That's medium at best." And I was like, are you eating beef sushi up there or
That's what I was
what,
gonna say. Where
Right.
you get cookies from?
dude? Holy crap!
I mean,
So
I was totally against it because I think of this like so I've been doing in Texas brisket is king, but I think beef ribs are to me I like beef ribs a little better. Like it's just brisket on a stick, and it's a lot shorter time. You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
um,
Well, and
but
I
I
have
mean,
like my dad and I always say everything tastes a little bit better off the bone.
mhm.
I believe there's something to the bone. So
Yeah, and I'm telling you sorry, my dogs are barking, and I'm telling my wife I just text her to tell her get these dogs inside before they go crazy. Um, So, but
Trust
yeah, I
me,
think
I have dogs bark sometimes. It sounds like the SWAT team's coming through the door.
Yeah.
So
well, we have a blind 17-year-old dachshund. So she may not even be barking at the door. She may be just standing in like a corner somewhere, stuck outside.
yeah,
So I mean, but she's 17. Like
yeah, she
she's
heard a whisper, or thought she
Yeah.
heard a whisper, so she's
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, Yeah.
it's crazy.
that's a good run. 17.
Yeah.
Right? I thought we were gonna make the push for the oldest dog, but then I saw it's 23. I'm like, no. The oldest dog is 23 years old. Can you imagine that? Like there's no
That's
that
wild.
dog has lived a cush lifestyle with my wife. So I mean, I feel like it'll be a little better, but she's 17 and blind, so she could be stuck somewhere. I don't know.
23, dude, that just seems unfair for the poor dog.
Right? Like let that dog go.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man.
so but I don't mind the tri-tip brisket style, but the only reason I like it is because it's small, it's quick, it's a good weekday. So like, and I recommend it for people like saying, oh, I don't want to buy a brisket, because you think about the yield. I think about the yield. Like with the tri-tip, you get 100%. I mean, minus some little fat, but like almost 100% meat yield. Brisket, you don't. And to be honest, this may be sacrilege too, being a Texan. Brisket day of, I'm not really a big fan. I want leftovers like from brisket.
It tastes, dude.
It
Hallelujah.
mends together better.
Yeah. So a few months ago, I did what I called brisket week, and
Yeah.
every day was brisket. Well, no, because especially because so my wife loves brisket. My oldest daughter, meh. My little one, the 2.5-year-old, dude, she
Pounds
senses it.
it, huh?
She
Yeah.
senses it.
Yeah.
She could have just eaten food, and I'm cutting into a brisket, and she was like, "Is that meat?" I'm like, "Yeah, baby, it's meat." Okay, and she walks off. But then when I bring a plate to go sit down, can I have some? Like, dude, I'm like, and so now I just give her. So I did a tri-tip brisket just the other day, and it was like 2.5 pounds, and I was like, just for me and the wife, because I already made the girls something else. They ended up eating the rest of it. Like I was like, oh, I'll have some like eggs and with tacos the next day.
Yeah, it'll be nice. Yeah.
Nope, they finished off. Yeah, and she was dipping it in queso because we had queso from like something else, and she was dipping it in queso. I'm like,
bougie life. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So, but like I said, brisket, the brisket week I did, it was great because everything was different. Like I did a banh mi, I did ramen, which a banh mi, if that is like my favorite leftover sandwich for brisket because it's got that. If you have a nice fresh pickled onions on there or pickled carrots, and just if you could do daikon if you want to, but I don't do pate on it. I don't want to get fancy like that way, but like I just want a nice fresh sandwich with it, and we used to when I used to work with my dad in the summers, we used to go to Chinatown I guess it's Vietnamese area of Houston and get banh mi's with that fresh French bread. Game changer. But I'm not gonna say it was actually probably my favorite, but my wife actually created one that was brisket stuffed shells, like just like with like Italian, these jumbo shells. And I'm thinking about. So I was talking to Kris Apple, the owner of White Bulls Barbecue. I was I think I'm gonna do a brisket week 2 with 7 more recipes of brisket and just try something a little different, like kind of push the limits of it. Maybe a medium rare brisket. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do medium rare brisket. That's where you get crap about people talking about the tri-tip brisket style.
Yeah.
Oh, would you do a brisket medium rare? Well, no. Like brisket was a trash. It was trash meat. It was something I remember seeing videos of brisket 69 cents a pound. This is back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s because it was a cast off. They use it for grind or for a while. It just but now it's this sexy meat that needs to be minimum. I haven't bought select meat in forever, but it's if you want something good, you've got to pay $6, $7, $9, $10 a pound for it. And that's where it goes into play of doing the can we somebody asked me like what can I do that's not going to be like break the bank. Well, yeah, tri-tip $7.99 a pound at least for prime by us at our local grocery store, but $7.99 a pound, you pay $21 and you get 100% yield for a family of 3 or 4. That's pretty good. I mean, that's
Right.
and it's a quarter of the time too. So but yeah, it's a long walk, but so Girldadbbq though it's for not only for myself. I started that because I was at home, like we all were, trying to keep sane. I feel like that's how I think Damon and I kind of bonded, because we were just chatting. And it happens with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Some people come and go. A lot of people stayed. Some people just, I feel like they started out home. I'm at home now. I can do this all, and they fade away because when they start to go back
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah, I
And
go
some
back to work.
people, yeah, but like we were finding friendships across, state lines, across the world, that we didn't. I wouldn't have met Damon if it wasn't for Girldadbbq. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I would have met John. I would have met half these people, more than half these
Yep.
people, had it not been for that. And and that's kind of like it's kind of a dark thing to say, but like, it's kind of like that kind of light in the darkness, because how many friendships have you guys started just over barbecue?
A lot.
Oh, dude, yeah.
A lot.
It's crazy, and that's where I think back, like, my girls ask me, who you talking to? I'm like, I don't know, some guy in, like, I don't know, Pewaukee, or some guy in, like, Minnesota, or some guy.
Yeah.
You just don't know. You just don't know where, these people. But now you form relationships and friendships. Like next week I'll be at with Matt from Matt Out Back at his place in Dallas with a bunch of people. I think I don't even know. I think there's only 10 or 11 of us going just to kind of cook out there and just kind of hang out. And but like, it's, you just, what else are you gonna do besides
I got a question about that, because so do you guys know each other
Matt?
just through this,
Mhm.
or do you know each other outside of this?
Outside it. So we met because he was Girl Dad Grills.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was, and he like a former, and I was like, oh, I wonder if they're like cousins, or they know each
No.
other or something. They passed it on or whatever.
No, we literally, like, we started around like the same time. I think he started before me,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started, and then like we randomly kind of found each other. Like, hey, this is awesome. And we both have girls. Well, now he has a boy. He screwed it all up for himself.
Yeah. Yep.
But
He
I feel like
he had to relinquish the torch.
Yeah.
yeah. So like, and we would just chat because we found he's in Dallas. It's 3.5 hours away, and then so I was up in Dallas for my wife was doing it at a convention. I was like, hey, I'm gonna come up here with her, and let's hang out. We'll cook, whatever. And we did. We were both on a couple ambassador teams together, and then we talk every day. Like, it's just kind of one of those things. We just kind of just talk about everything. So I've been up there. He actually came down in Houston a few weeks ago, and him, and we met a couple people like Brianna, Married to Barbecue. And we met Swiss, Cooking with Swiss, which
Dude, Swiss is the man,
dude. And you think, like, and you ask him, like, how many, because and somebody asked, he's like, what, the voice, he's like, no, this is it, this is me, like, Swiss, how many, I don't smoke, I don't do like that, but it's just that's me. And Brianna from Married to Barbecue, sweet girl, she knows her stuff. Like, coincidentally, her and I competed in a barbecue competition, literally like 2 spots away from each other before I knew who she was. And they actually ended up winning the competition. And I got third place brisket, and but they won the competition, and it was kind of cool because I'm like, I didn't know it. And then her and I started chatting it up, and then like, oh, that's crazy, you're right there. So but yeah, Matt and I, we just, that's another thing, like, we, friendship like that, like, I wouldn't have met this guy at all until that thing that came along. So, but now, so yeah, we don't. We had no relationship until then, and now like, I'll be going up there this Friday. So we'll leave on. We're going up there Friday, Saturday. So
man, I thought about that way back in the day, and I hadn't thought about it for, I don't know, since I started following you guys way back when, and until you brought up you were going to see, I'm like, ding. ADHD picked up something on the back end.
Yeah, well, and it's crazy because I've been asked that before, but like, now we just because it's total coincidence. And there's a couple. I think there's actually one more Girl Dad grilling, and I've talked to him before, and I think he's up north somewhere. And then I get messages sometimes for Girldadbbq. I guess is a food truck out of somewhere in Missouri maybe. And but but they're not social media present. You know, like I got tagged in their stuff. I got tagged in their stuff one day. I'm like, oh, thanks for Girl Dad coming out. I'm like, no, not me, not me.
So, because I've seen some crossovers on different platforms of very, very similar, not Girldadbbq, but
Yeah.
of, just in general. And I'm like, oh, that must be so and so. I'll go to the page. I'm like, definitely not, definitely not. And I'm like, I've seen that happen. I'm not saying with either one of you guys, but I can't think of one right now. But yeah, it's funny how that works.
It's crazy. Well, the thing about this, there's new people joining every day. I feel like COVID really kind of accelerated it, and like I said, some people fizzled out. Some people couldn't do it. It's not that they don't want to; it's they couldn't do it because they went back to work.
A lot of people, yeah,
yeah. Or I feel like I know more of a handful of people that they literally did it for the fame or try to get famous, and they didn't get famous right away, and they was like, no, not worth my time.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, and like, but so, and I think a lot of people have told me this, and Matt's one of them was like you can't look at numbers, and like Damon, I think, and for a while I was talking to him because I'm like, dude, why am I not growing? Da, da, da. Yep. And then and now I'm like, somebody asked me like, what are you at? I'm like, I don't know. I'm over 8,000. That's the only thing I know. Yeah. But I can't, and I don't look at numbers anymore because I don't want to. I think it's because it's been. I'm in sales, so I'm naturally like I want to see numbers.
Yeah.
So like it's hard.
Why
for me.
isn't this producing?
Yeah. And so now I'm just I think when you stop, and that's somebody asked me, like somebody new was like, what kind of advice? I'm like, do you. Don't try to think everything's gonna go viral. You see people out there who are like, oh my gosh, why is his going viral every single time? Well, they have 200,000 followers. Yes, they make good content, and yes, they do some killer stuff. But also, like I'm making food for my family to eat, and there's some stuff out there. They make shock and awe videos, which is still kind of which is still fun because I like doing shock and awe videos. I just made something the other day, and I feel like it was just like I haven't posted it yet because I probably won't post it for a while. But like it's just so stupid. But like it's one of those things you want to shock and awe. That's how you if you want to grow crazy, shock and awe it. But like Kendrick Barbecue said to me one day, was like, you gotta slow roll it. Like I feel like the growth you get when you slow roll it, it feels better. But to me in sales, which you can see the sticky notes behind me is stuff for work. but like I want to see numbers. Like I actually usually have like some stuff hanging up here for like work, but I take it down. But like I'm literally a numbers guy because that's in sales. That's what you do. You want to see growth.
Yeah. So, and see, like I'm not a sales guy, but I understand that. Like I've always been in production, contracting and stuff. So it's like I need to see proof that this is worth the time. Mm-hmm. I'm having fun, yes, and I got caught up in that for a little while. Like I'm having tons of fun, and yes, I'm taking pictures anyway. But if I'm going to take the time, I need to see some production from this.
Yeah.
And it was like that. I'd ask my friends, like, why not me? What am I doing? And people are like, dude, just stop, just chill, man, be you. And so luckily I found some friends early on that had been in this game for a little while,
Right.
And, I just stopped. Yeah, that's it. As soon as I stopped caring, it was like, I mean, I'm still way lower than most of my friends that I've met. And I give this many F's about it, dude. I really, because I podcast 3 times a week.
Yep.
Like I've built this whole relationship with all these dudes across America, and like not dudettes, everybody. It's just well, I wouldn't trade this if I had to drop back to 202 followers to keep doing this. I'd give up my accounts, whatever. Whatever it takes.
I feel it's when I look at it. Yeah, not really. Don't take, please, Zuckerberg, don't take away my followers. Yeah, please don't stop following me. Like you think of that. There was a sound bite, a few months ago. It was like, don't you just hate when people just ask for like and follows? Like and follow if you like this video.
That's right.
It's true because you look at those are numbers too, and I've stopped caring about those. Like I just now I do see something that if it's under 100, I'm like, ugh, like. Maybe is a wrong time because timing is everything because it's just
I'm just learning that like time of day is a huge thing.
Yeah, it's insane. I follow that guy Brock Johnson, but also like you just kind of have to study your own. Like it's like it's insane,
dude.
Yep.
Because I follow a couple different guys that like,
They're the
Insta
experts.
pros or whatever. Yeah. And I get it. I get it. But sure, the best thing that it did for me was teach me how to like edit better. And
Right.
like I didn't follow their tutorials, but I could see what they were doing in the tutorials, and I would like, oh, boom, okay. Like the two best things I've ever been is the not caring and don't post at all.
Oh,
Because dude, for like 9 months, every cook got posted the entire thing, and then I'd have to cook again.
Yeah.
And then I posted like I had nothing to do, and I posted like me seasoning a pork, but it's literally me just like to some like popular song. It was like I was like, oh shoot, I haven't posted today. Boop boop boop, done. And it was like really fast. I'm like, really? That's all right. That's all you guys are gonna get then.
I think that was my biggest mistake early on. Was like, man, I was cooking every day, so I'd cook and post, like, and now like, I don't know who told me this, but somebody's like, you have to build up a bank almost, because people aren't going to think, oh, that's what he's eating today. He's eating brisket, 3 days in a row.
Yes,
that's right.
No, I'm not eating. Well, sometimes I do eat brisket 3 days in a row.
Yeah,
but
it's happened here too.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, people are looking for content. They're looking into a view of you and your life a little bit, but they're not thinking you're eating brisket 3 days in a row. Like you're eating brisket for a week straight. But I think the crazy thing is about content is it's just if you can stretch it. That's that's the thing I didn't learn until much later, and I feel like that counts. Like you're talking about, like it is tough.
When I found out, I was like, you guys couldn't have told me that couldn't have been like one of the first things,
right?
And like it's not anybody's fault. I'm just saying, like, damn, this had to come this late.
Sometimes you have to learn it. You have to learn it for yourself. That's the thing. You have to learn it for yourself sometimes.
Absolutely.
And now if I can get one cook that does like 4 things of content, gold.
Oh, like, dude, I'm like winning.
Yeah. Or if it's like you're saying, don't post everything. Like also, like there's some bloopers that you just kind of like it's kind of like a behind the scenes thing. People kind of do want to see that. I don't know if that's post worthy, maybe story worthy, but like for me, it's like you don't really see a lot of that stuff. But like it's there. Like so I went through my phone the other day, going through like see what I have in like, and then I found a video. And I'm like, I don't remember taking this video. It's a video of my wife trying she had a little too much to drink at Thanksgiving. So this is Thanksgiving. So this is now what we're in March, right? Yeah. So and she's like, and there's a video, and she's looking at some stuff I cooked, and then she turns the camera on, does like a bite, and she's like, "That's money." And then like you can tell she had a couple drinks. But so I was like, I'm gonna post this. She's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes, I am. Like it's gonna happen because it's funny because I'm just kind of like, just give me a 10,000 foot view, and there's 2 videos of it. But I was like, maybe I have to. Like it's too funny because I didn't know they were there until now. We're 5 months. We're 5 months removed, and then I just found this. So and sometimes those crazy ones. Actually, believe it or not, I was in a slump, and my wife did a pork butt. And man, when I post with her, she does better. It is better. I'm like, maybe you be the face of it now.
So before Instagram abandoned Reels, right?
Right.
And pictures would still get tons of hits as long as we're mixing it up.
Yep.
I had a couple pictures do pretty decent, and then I posted like I can't remember if it was Valentine's Day, her birthday, Mother's Day, or our anniversary or whatever. But I posted like the carousel where you can a couple pictures of my wife and stuff, and like us on like happy whatever blah blah blah, and that just like went boom, and I'm like, man, fuck you guys.
They're just more like, man, this guy married up too.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm like, so like I keep trying to incorporate her in all the time, but my wife's older than me. She like did not grow up with this kind of technology, and is like, nah. But every time I get her in, I'm like, yes, because people like to see like the real life. They like to like,
yeah.
I feel like it's a lot of there's the place for like the like you're saying, the big fancy show off foodies, but then there's like a lot of people. I know a lot of people in our audience a lot of times, and just like the people like I'll have people that I run into. I'm like, they're like, dude, I see all your stuff online. Like, you really eat like that all the time? I'm like, no, man. And you explain like the rolling out of,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, dude. I'm like, what the frig? And I'm like, dude, I weigh a lot more than this.
Right.
But
I had a neighbor, and he's gone now, and he was a firefighter. His girlfriend was a vegetarian or vegan, and so he's a meat eater through and through. So when I would do the content, I'd have too much, and it was something we weren't going to eat. I'd give it to him. Like he was my like, and especially when it was like those, like, if I'm making a burgers or something like that, because I'm making too much, or I'm just something that I'm not going to eat all of it, or take a bite and then he cut it in half and he'd go, here's the rest. He was just my garbage disposal, like that's just take it. I'm not giving him steak or anything like that, but I'm like, like you can only cook so much pork butt. You can only do so many like pork dishes. Like, like I just did like 40 pounds of burn ends for a buddy of mine. And I mean, I think to myself, like, man, I could not, and it was for something special, but like for instance, burn ends, like, those things are rich. Like, I'm just not going to eat it all. I'm not going to, if I fry up anything, which I don't really do a lot of fried stuff now I think about it, even though, except for my wife's consistent thing is this chicken fried steak. That's like her game right there.
I just finally made some recently for the first time. You're talking about bloopers. Dude,
yeah.
My first one dropped way too quickly out of the tongs, and like a tidal wave of oil just coated my finger. And I looked down and I'm like, I put it underwater, and I was filming, but it was so fast. Like I went back and looked. I'm like, that's going to be an awesome blooper. Oh, you can't even tell. It's like the videos of Sasquatch running, But dude, I knew it was bad because it didn't even hurt.
That's
it was just
that's
like
how you know it's
hot
gonna sting
for a long time. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is bad.
That ain't good.
Yeah, I did.
So I might have to hit you up for the because mine was good. It was a good first attempt, we'll say. But this like the breading and the seasoning wasn't,
You know what? Here's the thing. I'll say this. I don't know how she does it. She won't let me in the room. She will like. I don't.
One of those.
It's one of those.
Dude,
and like so like
I get it.
But she will. But I'll get you tips.
Okay.
But her process, because like she's one to dole out tips, but how she does it, like I don't even know. Like I tried to film one time with it. She's like, no. I'm like,
ooh,
why not? Like,
oh boy.
You don't talk her up.
See, there you go. Yeah. So,
dude, you don't talk her up.
And she knows. Like, dude, I'm telling you, she knows. Like, I'm telling you, like, and we've done venison style. We've done regular. It's still like somebody asked me, what would be my? Oh yeah, what would be my last meal if I was to have a last meal, and it would be that chicken fried steak, and just that's the sides. Like I can go with whatever. But chicken fried steak has to be the main, and it has to be hers. Like it can't be anybody else's. It's like we try other places around the state to try to see, and the places that were like in the top 10 of Texas chicken fried steaks, and I think like maybe like one or two has been like come close to hers. It's just something about it. I don't even know, like, because I've tried. Dude, I've tried. But, I mean, I've literally, and it breaks my heart that I don't know how it is. So if she dies before me, then we're
world's screwed.
The world's screwed. But and she's from a small town. Coincidentally, where Snow's Barbecue is, where Tootsie from Snow's Barbecue. That's that's her hometown. So yeah, so it's kind of ironic, even though before me, she wasn't really a big barbecue fan. Still to this day, she's not a big pork chop fan. She'll eat pork ribs like nobody's business. Like it's a competition for that girl. But like pork chops, she won't touch. But like before me, like she wasn't really, and I don't know if any of her family's on here. I hope to God they're not. Someone to say something. But their favorite barbecue restaurant was a chain restaurant for barbecue, and their favorite rib restaurant was Chili's.
Oof.
You know, I mean, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm telling you. Imagine,
Dude, isn't that
imagine.
like blasphemy in Texas?
But hey, baby back ribs, baby. I mean,
I'm not trying to get you in trouble or nothing, but
I mean, I don't.
so
I cannot. I've never had it before. I don't know.
so one thing I learned when I started really getting into barbecue, I like you, I've cooked off and on my whole life, but when I really got into barbecue and understanding time, temperature, smoke, this and that, I realized that most people are not getting proper barbecue, I think.
Hmm.
And somehow are getting too much dirty smoke or something because my family can't get enough of my food now. And when I first told them like, "Oh, I'm smoking it," and they're like, "Oh, I don't like that," and I'm like, "I don't think you know what you're talking about." And
Yeah.
then one time I'm out back at my pop's running his backyard offset, right? And he's like, "It's not even smoking." And I go, "Excuse me?" I'm like, "No, it's perfect right now. Like, look at the temp. Look, like,
Yeah.
I don't know." And he goes, "Oh, I usually," he's like, "I usually just get a bunch of coals hot and then put a bunch of wood on there. And when there's white billowing smoke, then I know I'm good." And I go,
I
"Oh
mean,
man, no wonder mom ate smoked meat."
that's and I get it because people you hear that a lot. Like that's something like the thin blue smoke. You don't
Yeah.
want to
Mhm.
see it, but obviously I had a guy ask me. He's like, I don't know why my barbecue tastes so bitter. I'm like, what are you doing? He's going through the process. I was like, well, you're using wood chips. So what kind of chips are you using? Using mesquite? Maybe that's a little. Maybe it's because it's a little stronger smoke. He's like, oh yeah, it's
Mhm.
probably over to the store. And then I soak it in water. I'm like, well, I found your problem. 35 minutes into our conversation, I found your problem. And
Yep,
Yep.
and like
made that mistake once. I saw it on the
it's
video, so I was like, "Oh, maybe it'll last longer."
Nope.
yep. No, I tried it just for like the logic of it to see how it was,
Mhm.
and I did a chicken, and it was probably like
Oof.
Ooh, that
and you
chicken.
just that's just and it
Yeah.
literally and luckily it was a small bird, so like it wasn't really out too much, but I was like
Mhm.
it went in the trash, and I was like so. And I saw a video a long time ago when I first started pellet grilling. Don't soak your pellets in water before you smoke it. So like, and it was a video saying don't do it. I'm like, yeah, of course. Why would you do that? Like, that's just begging
Because
for trouble.
someone did it,
Like,
probably.
yeah, well, I mean,
Well,
that's why caution coffee's hot on there every cup now.
a buddy of mine had like I can't remember what it's called. It's like a little little Cherokee or little something smoker, like this little tin did like aluminum cans, like, but it had just had this little heating element and this little
Yeah.
tray that went on it, and you were supposed to soak the pellets. It all in all the instructions. That's what it said, to smoke the pellets for 30 minutes. Blah blah blah. And I never ended up
Hmm,
using it. I never ended up
really?
using it.
That's
But
weird.
so
Yeah.
I heard about it from there, and then I saw this video like where it said a barbecue name, and I'm like, oh, he knows what he's talking about. He's got a pretty decent amount of views, and I was like, that's never happening again.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
number
it's
one, the first thing that happens is your temp goes like this.
in the dirt.
Uh huh.
I mean, and yeah, it's that hurt my head a little bit, and you see so many things like, and it's people usually like, oh, I like using pine to smoke. It's a joke, but like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
like hopefully somebody doesn't really take that as serious as gospel. Like, oh, pine's good. I'm gonna use pine.
Yeah.
But hell, we went
oh
camping
dude,
last
that would
weekend.
be
That purple
nasty.
pop.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
so
went
I
camping.
I did a
No, go ahead.
oh I did my wife and I last October went up to Northern California up in the redwoods, and I cooked over redwood, pine, whatever. Hey, it was all in cast iron though, folks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
live fire
so.
cooking, but with because it's not the same. Wood is
Mhm.
not wood
Mm-mm.
when it comes to cooking food over. It has too much. those have too much sap that's released, and it's really bitter, and I don't know what else.
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist or botanist, but
Yeah, so it's a sap that like it's basically yeah, I'm not saying I'm not even gonna try it. We're not even gonna walk down that path. You know,
yeah,
I went to school for 7 years, but I'm not a doctor or a scientist. But like,
yeah,
but no, I'm like, so when we went camping this weekend, the first few nights. So for a while, the Texas parks weren't allowing anything but pine to be burned. Now they have oak and whatnot, but usually they want you to keep indigenous woods only. So like
oh yeah,
oak,
yeah, I got
mesquite,
you. Yes,
pine.
yes.
So like you can't bring in like they don't want you to bring in like juniper wood. You know what you can get
It's the
for your
same
campfire.
way at campgrounds here. Like they want you to buy local wood up there
Yep,
because of this bug or whatever,
exactly.
moss or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah. So we were using pine the first night, and then we found some oak. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do some oak. So like at least that way, like,
right.
but then before we found the oak, I went to the store and bought post oak for cooking because like
Oh, yes.
way our
Yeah.
thing is we have a fire and then offset to it is the cooking area. I'm like, well, I'll just use. I brought some charcoal and laid it down and did it. And
Mhm.
like so it was great. Like
Yeah.
it was damn delicious having some breakfast over campfire and then
Hmm.
burgers and stuff like that. But it's just there's something about. I mean, there's something primal about that. That's where we're going back to like the pellet thing. Like I love the pellet
Yeah.
grills, but man, there's something so primal, and that's one thing. Watching like the guys at Alfregoni's place, like Nombre, and doing all the
Hmm.
outdoor that stuff. Like I wish I could do that more often. Like do the actual live fire
Yes.
because that's cool. That is some cool
Yeah,
stuff.
actually reached out to Big Hobbs recently because I think I just have to have a cross every
Yeah.
year. Every year in January, we butcher hogs. We
Okay.
butcher our own pig for our family, and then like there's a bunch. It's a whole Portuguese festival thing called Matanza that a really good friend brought us. Allowed us to do it at his place, and we've done it for like 9 years now.
Right.
Um, I just think like that's the next thing that needs to happen at that event is also doing a live fire pig. You know, so
Dude. And Hobbs is a cool dude. I met him there too, and he's a genuine guy.
oh,
Like he's
so nice, dude.
but I'll say this: a lot of the people, and this is, and like if there's anybody out there who's just starting out in barbecue or nervous to reach out to somebody who's like a big
Oh
Hobbs
yeah.
or like TFTI, like Chuck, and like those big guys out there, they're genuine. They may not get back to you right away because they get so many messages. But like
Yeah.
there are people out there, people I haven't met anybody out there. There's just genuine people. There are people out there. Yeah, they have a million followers somewhere which way, but like they're just people. Like that's the greatest thing
Hmm.
about this is that they feel humble because beforehand they had a real job and they still may have a real job, but they were humble people out there just trying to get what they do out there. And they're giving a huge following. Don't be afraid to reach out to anybody to ask questions.
Yeah,
Um,
seriously. And
Yeah.
like Chuck
it's
did it for a grind for
hmm
years,
oh yeah.
years before it happened for him. And he
Hmm.
talks about it. He
Oh
talked
yeah.
about it. He did whole videos about it.
And his stories really cool. Like just in
Hmm.
general, his upbringing and whatnot. But like I was I was telling one of my friends who's not in social media at all, and he's like, "Well, how does it work?" I'm like, "Well, it's all a game. Like we play this game to try to
Hmm.
grow. But obviously, there's people who grind it, who spend years and years and years and grind it out, or there's people out there who hit the Instagram lottery. They have good content.
Yep.
They have the
Yep.
shock and awe. They have the voice. They've got so many. There's so many different variables, and and you have to it's almost becomes a second job
Like
sometimes.
TFTI, dude.
Hmm.
He checked every box for Foodie social media.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's like a punk rock emo, sick, tattooed looking cool guy. His food looks incredible.
Dude.
He's got recipes out the wazoo, and he
Yep.
hit that wing stride where he does that taste bite, and it's
Yep.
like he hit the it's the wet dream for social media.
Oh yeah.
And
it's
some, I'm not saying he got lucky. I don't
no,
mean, I'm not speaking on anybody. The dude has recipes out the ass.
he can
He's got
cook. That's
skill.
the thing. He can
Yeah.
cook.
Mhm.
And like I'm not singling out anybody. There's people out there who literally have a shock and awe factor for everything. And but
Mhm.
like Tone, like and when I met him, I'm like you see the persona, you see the guy, and you see the tattoos, and you're like, dude, this guy's like I was I was nervous. I wasn't gonna lie, I was nervous. But then I started talking to him. Same thing with Mel with Dark Side of the Grill. I'm like those guys, like they're just people. Like they were just and like we found out we talk about our kids and stuff like that. It was great, it was just like a friend thing. But man, like there's just something crazy about the world we're in right now where
Dude, seriously.
it's I wouldn't change it. Somebody's like, "Was it? Do you enjoy it?" I'm like, it's work sometimes. It's a second job,
Yes.
or actually,
Yes.
I say the third job because I do family, work, and then barbecue. Like it's
Mhm.
that those are my three jobs. And it's but I
I'm
wouldn't
trying to
change it.
make it family this and half work, but
Yeah. Now
but,
and the crazy thing is like so now one thing I do like to do like and I know uh so it took my travel picked back up and I like to cook on the road at hotels like
dude, I
that.
love that series
I,
you were
I
doing, the
was I was
lives and stuff. Yeah.
I was about to ask you about all that.
Yeah, that was
So
the shit, dude.
man, so traveling around so much when you just have drive-throughs and like restaurants. And now, granted, my company, they pay for when I'm stuff on the road, so it's not like I'm just out
Mhm.
the money. But like, I just can't eat.
Health and
Yeah.
taste and yeah.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. Like when I'm traveling, so what I do is when I travel, the places I travel to are no. I'm not traveling to the nice places. I'm traveling to like Midland, Odessa, which is way west Texas. I'm traveling to, you know, Louisiana, the backwoods part, not the New Orleans part, all the backwoods part. Like I mean, there's and now I will go to like because I'm in Texas, I'll go to San Antonio, I'll go to Austin, the Rio Grande Valley. I was in Laredo, and so this is probably one of my favorite.
Laredo.
Yeah. So this is probably one of my funny, like my most interesting experiences for cooking at a hotel. So I remember the last time I was there, their grill was just in awful shape. So I brought my camping grill, little, 2 foot by 2 foot, just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
screw on the green canister and let's go.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm from my hotel to the Mexico Texas border is about 1.7 miles.
Mhm.
So that's how close I am. And I'm like sitting up there. I'm like, and I told the guy in the front desk, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna be in the back. At my car, I'm gonna be grilling. I'm a guest in the hotel. Like I'm not just gonna be putting up
I'm not just
shop,
some guy who pulled up. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I had everything. I brought my grill. I brought my table. I had like a little camp table.
Yep. Yep.
It's like 2 feet, 3 feet tall, so it just kind of gives me a little bit of up the ground. And I got way too much food. I got some sirloin flap and tablitas. The flanky cut short ribs,
Yeah.
and seasoned them up. I had a big tecate out there, just drinking beer. And also, I would do lives for people who don't know. I would do lives and just kind of cook and just
Mhm.
talk and like just BS. And sometimes I would bring seasonings from home. Now if I fly, I still bring seasonings because I don't want to buy seasonings on the road. I just put in a
Yeah.
little travel size and bring it with me. Um, and so I'm sitting there, I'm cooking. Some guy walks up, like after I'm done, I've already turned my live off and like that. He's like, there's a guy walking on the street. He's like, got an extra taco? I'm like, yeah, here you go. Like handed a taco to him. So then I come
That's
inside and
badass.
I have all this food. Like there's no way I'm gonna eat. I think I want to say like I had equivalency of like I could have had like 9 tacos. I think like it was a lot of food, and because I just you just buy whatever's there. Um, Walked in there. Hey, how many people are on staff right now? Oh, it's just me and one other guy. I'm like, here, tacos. Like, and I think the
Dude,
guy
they
follows me to
probably
this day.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
and
probably
it was.
made his
I
fucking
mean,
night, dude.
yeah, like, and he's so this was so I consistently if I go to a place regularly, I cook for the front desk. Like, and I was in
That's a
Midland,
legit.
Odessa. Yeah, and it's nothing
That's
fancy. I mean,
legit.
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing down fancy stuff. I mean, I'm getting like, burgers. I'm doing wings. Now I did do
Mm.
some
Yeah.
bacon wrapped shrimp that they're already pre-made. But it's more of a because when I travel, it's more of a therapy thing for me too. Is that I'm not
Right.
having to
Bingo.
go and I mean, I have no problem sitting at a bar or sitting at a restaurant by myself because I'll talk to people. I mean, that's what I do. Like, I'm just there to talk.
Yeah.
I'll talk. I don't care. But I know I can do some things better. Like we all. Like, I'm sure. Like, how many times have you gone to a steak restaurant in the past year and enjoyed it? Like,
This many. And
yeah,
not because the steak wasn't good. It's just because for the money I just paid, because I went to the better steakhouse
Yep.
for the better steak, and I can still cook one better at home. No, I won't go anymore.
Yeah, that's
I won't. I would still do it, or I order something else.
Yeah, there's some things I will. There's some places I will like go on the road for. Like if I'm gonna try a new place, like I tried out this place that was it was barbecue, but it was a fusion barbecue that they had Asian and we'll call it Pacific Rim influence because there was a bunch of different Asian influence of barbecue and a little bit of Hawaiian in there.
There's a lot to that right there, folks.
Yeah, and that's to me that is like I love like don't get me wrong because I love the Hispanic culture for the influences on barbecue, but something about the Pacific Rim with Asian. I'm talking about not Asian barbecue. I'm talking about like Asian Texas style barbecue because you want that like give me some pork belly on a bow or give me a brisket with so they have mofongo, which is like a plantain dish. I mean, oh no, that's mofongo. Yeah, it's plantains. It's fried. It's plantains fried in like a chicharron style. It's with gravy and it's just it's bomb. But yeah, I think the hotel cooking has been fun. I wish I could do more. It's just sometimes I'm only there for a day. So why would I go? Because I have to go to the store and buy it. And then, but I'm telling you, it's a lot better than going Chick-fil-A for the 20th time for that week. We're getting a burger because
greasy burger.
Yeah. And like I said, so the last one, the guy was like, it was a new guy. I was like, hey man, I usually cook for, I can't remember the guy's name, but I usually cook for him. But he's not here. Do you want a burger? It's like, what? I'm like, yeah, just cook the extra burger because it comes in usually 2 packs. So you want a burger? Yeah, I'll take a burger. Done. Like it's kind of cool because it's they don't know me, and I don't say, oh, I'm Kris from Girldadbbq. I don't say anything at all. They don't know, and if they ask, I'll tell them, but I'm not saying post this on social media. I'm not doing this
by the way,
yeah. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this for social media purposes. I'm doing it because I'm going to eat, and I'm going to make another burger for somebody else. It's just something that's fun to do, But I
had a buddy, dude, who he kind of like helped inspire the show, like where we just get to know foodies because we're all just regular people. Like we've already talked about that. And because he was always looking at, he's like, man, I follow you guys, and it's like I'll never be able to cook like that. And I'm like, false, dude, false. Yeah. None of us were taught this. We didn't go to school. None of that. I mean, you went to some grocery store class.
Yeah, but that was when I was a kid. Like I'm telling you,
that was just a joke. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I think we've all learned, and this goes for anybody who's starting out. If aside from watching videos on here, how many times have we Googled, how to barbecue right, and then you put in whatever it is? Because I think I think of immediately.
Oh, because Malcolm,
yeah, because of Malcolm. Like that's. Yeah. I'm just saying, like that's, or do we just put like, whatever you want to do, YouTube it and boom, it's there. Mm-hmm. But I think of Malcolm Reed because I think he was probably one of the first ones to do like for barbecue for like on YouTube. But because
what's speaking of that real quick, what's crazy about that is like there's when I'm cooking, watching YouTube growing up with or whatever, there's like a couple guys I've watched for a lot of years now, and
right.
But like now I'll be thinking of a recipe like, oh dude, I think Kris did tacos like that. So I'll scroll through all these food accounts that I follow. Like someone did this. I know, where was that? Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to try. Like, dude, recipes are at your fingertips. Just match it by color and amounts. Like cooking. It's not like baking where you have to have like, if you're a half a teaspoon off and it's dense as hell, or, it falls or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. I mean, baking's where baking for me is not my strong suit. I will do it, But like my wife, like she makes sourdough, so she has a sourdough starter, and she'll make it every now and then.
Yeah, that's
And
a lifestyle right there.
dude, it's and like her one of her really good friends. She lives in the backwoods, like a smaller town, and that's their bread. She makes bread for the week,
Yep.
and I mean it is bomb. And then, but my wife, she makes a good one, and we'll put it on the grill too, because there's just something better. Like it's again wood fired. They used to make bread wood fired. That's what it was. Um, but man, it's just baking is not my. I learned it from my father. My father doesn't measure either. He's not a measurer. He never will be a measurer. He's like, that looks about right. I'm like, you can't do
Measure
that with
with your
baking.
heart,
Like,
man.
yeah, measure with. That's why when it comes to like garlic, like, and I know we all think about this, but when I think of measuring like garlic, like, what's one clove? Like, what's like? I mean, like, what is it popped up?
Yeah,
I'm just like,
I go back and
measure
forth.
with.
I know the whole thing's a
Yeah,
head. I know that,
yeah,
but I'm like, do they mean the whole thing or just
yeah.
one? Who's using
But how many?
this?
Who's buying the whole entire thing to get one?
One,
Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but like
no,
that's where I get it. I'm like, no, we're just gonna load it up. Like
yeah.
garlic's my
How
best
many
friend.
fall
If
off? Okay, that's how many we're using.
That's right.
yep, that's probably about triple it. Yeah, forget it. Like it's the vampire bites me out, they're gonna be screwed because my blood is like 20% garlic, I think. I
Oh,
Yes,
mean,
yeah.
amen.
part brisket too. So,
How much
but yeah,
time
I
you
think
got?
I don't even. It's only 9:30. I think my wife put the kids to bed. Honestly, it's really quiet. Either that or they're outside playing with the neighbors still. Because remember, they don't. My kids are
Yeah.
like we're talking about before. How
Well,
do kids get so much time off?
we usually end the show right about now, but we still got questions, and you're still on
Yeah,
a
man.
roll. So,
I'm a chatterbox. So that's one thing sales has done for me. I'll
oh,
just
me
freaking
too.
talk. I'm like, so I'm game, man. Like, if y'all got some more questions, let's roll with it, man. I'm not
What?
gonna say no.
How many? I'm sure you've cooked a few of the trends that went around.
Hmm.
Did you any of the? Yeah. So, is there been any ones that were like, okay, that was I'm sure that most of them are like that was fun, whatever. Have there been any where you're like, this is a keeper? I will always do this.
Man, honestly, like I go back to the tri-tip. Like that's like one of my like the tri-tip brisket, but also pork belly brisket style. I feel like that's a newer trend, but and that's one thing I think because I like brisket and like pork belly,
Mhm.
but like the brisket style, pork belly to me. And I just did this the other day. I did another one. So the first one I ever did, I did it Asian style to make tacos,
Yeah,
and
dude. Something about pork and Asian flavors,
and
dude.
it was so simple. Like I just did like a salt pepper rub, and then I did a little bit Asian influence rub, like coriander, had some honey powder, sesame seeds, and something else I'm forgetting. But it was just something to give that nice little Asian flair taste to it. And then
Mhm.
cooked it up, put it on a taco with some Asian slaw, and then like it was. I'll make anything a taco. I'm from Texas. Like
Yeah.
that's like tacos are like sandwiches around here.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Texas and California are like
yeah,
on the same page on that one, dude. It's taco everything here.
Well, I mean,
so
we can show what kind of taco game you got.
Oh, you can. See, I've never done one of these before. Let's see. Oh yeah, so this is just chorizo and egg right there, man. Like, but I so it's crazy.
Oh,
Chorizo
just
to me,
chorizo.
yeah. What's chorizo and egg, and it got some, some white onion, some cotija cheese. So cotija cheese to me is like my jam. Like that's like I love
Yeah.
it. Like it's perfect for tacos. It's got that nice little brininess to it, and
Yeah,
I like,
dude. Ooh.
and it's my favorite. But the pork belly I just did the other day, I chopped it up and made like chopped beef. So like with some sauce on it, and I mean like it's a game changer because you have the richness of a pork belly
Yeah.
cooked like a brisket because it's a very heavy salt and pepper on there, but with that little bit of sweetness of barbecue sauce. And did I have it? I don't did I post that the other day? I'm pretty sure I did.
I don't know.
Like
What was this one?
it
What's
wasn't a
that?
taco. Oh, so yeah, this
Look
was
at
just a
that
skirt.
elote right there.
Oh, dude. Oh yeah, so this was actually I gotta have that's a blue corn tortilla too. I'm a sucker for blue corn tortillas too. I think the wife was out of town on this one, so I just kind of went crazy on it. Oh, tequila, man. That's my
You're a big
jam.
tequila guy.
I
Huh?
I'm more of a. It's crazy. I'm more of a whiskey guy, but tequila, like I'll roll with it. Like, for some reason, my body processes tequila and whiskey exceptionally well.
Yeah, whiskey for me. I don't know what it is.
I don't know either. Like, and like, so there's so a new so whenever one of the hurricanes came through,
Harvey or
it
whatever.
was Harvey. It was Harvey.
Okay.
So whenever Harvey came through, so we weren't truly affected, thankfully. But the house you're at, we had some neighbors, and like we had a hurricane party, which was why not? That's what we do in Texas when there's let's just go and get drunk and see how we can survive. So
I love it,
dude. I'm not
thing.
No, it's a Texas thing too, man. You have hurricane parties, right? I mean, it's just batten down the hatches and start drinking. Like,
that's
so we were
freaking awesome, dude.
I opened a fresh bottle of it's called Monkey Shoulder, and it's a whiskey, but it's like a Scotch whiskey. It's a whiskey, but it's not, because it's not made in Scotland. It's a whiskey.
Yeah,
but it's got a Scotch. It's got a Scotchish taste. Brand new bottle. Next morning I woke up and my wife's like, "Where'd that bottle go?" I'm like, "We drank it." I'm like, "What do you mean we?" I'm like, "Well, you had one, I had the rest." She's like, "How you feeling?" I'm like, "I feel fine." Like, I mean, it's just, but whiskey and me are like good friends. Now on New Year's Eve,
it's scary sometimes.
yeah. Well, I mean, so I was at Costco the other day, and I won't show you what it is, but I mean, like, you can tell with the bottle, but look at that. I mean, like,
oh yeah.
I found that randomly hidden the other day. But
what a find,
right?
That's a diamond in the rough right there.
Yeah. And retail, I'll take that all day.
I've never seen that at my Costco.
Me either. It was actually stuck with a bunch of alcohol popsicles. It was just stuck in there. It's like a thing. It's called Easter egg. It's called Easter egg hunting. Just walk around and just look around for it. That's what I did. So, and the guy who planted it there, he was like, I saw him as I raised it up in the air, and he's like, yeah, like, because he doesn't tell me. He just kind of like, you got to find it out, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so New Year's Eve, my neighbors, big Hispanic family, we were partying hard. And I'm drinking.
That's a different kind of partying too, folks.
Oh, but and I'm telling you, I was going to cook.
It's a marathon.
We went through. So I was drinking whiskey, and one of their family members busted out some tequila. Mind you, I think I'm drinking whiskey and soda. And they go, "Hey, you want some tequila?" Yeah, I'll take one. One turned into 2, turned into 3, 3 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next morning, I'm like, God, man, my liver is working in overtime. Like, and I don't do this all the time.
No, if I did that much tequila, bad news.
So, flash warning, people: I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink all that often. Like, it's not like a daily occurrence for me. I just don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't know. It's just
So
it's blessing a curse.
I was a party hard maniac for a lot of years, and so I think I got like a little bit of that Rolling Stone Keith Richards effect, where I just partied so much I can just keep taking it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't either. Like really weeks sometimes before I have and then like I just power through just fine.
I just had that one beer, and then during camping I had some beer and whiskey. And then I'll go times. And when I travel, I don't really drink a lot much when I travel because I'm driving a lot. But also, like, I just, it's not something I do every day, but, I think I don't know. It's just, it processes my body differently. So
yeah,
I'm like scrolling off to the left here to look at tacos. Cause I'm just like, I love tacos, people. Like, I will try to make anything a taco. Like I just found one. I did, what was this? This was a smoked oxtail taco. So
yes,
oxtail down in the South. I mean, Dame, are you an oxtail fan? Johnsy, oxtail fan?
I haven't cooked it
before. I have never cooked it though, but I've had it before.
I don't even know if I've had it.
So oxtail to me, it's almost the same. To me, like the beefiness of beef cheek.
Yep.
But to me, like, it's a lot of work for a little piece of. It's like crawfish. It's a lot of work for a little piece of meat, but it's so worth it. So I just saw that, and I'm like, that's like again, something else my wife would not eat because it has the word oxtail in it. And she's like, "What's that? Well, it's a tail. Like, what do you expect it to be? Like, it's
it's the tail.
it's a tail." And it was probably one of the most flavorful tacos because those cuts of beef that were cast off and thrown to the side just make some good taco. Oh, that's a brisket was cast off. So,
Well,
but
I think people failed to remember that the meat that you're eating is muscle.
mhm,
So a tail moves a lot
moves.
on a cow.
Yep.
That's really good muscle because
Oh
it's
yeah.
moving.
Well, it's not like it's not a strenuous move. It's just moving. You know,
No, yeah,
it's not
yeah,
like like the brisket right here where there's a lot of walking and a
yeah.
lot of
Right.
hmm
so. But
Supporting how many hundreds of pounds,
yeah, yeah, that's a whole different animal. Literally like, for the shoulders and stuff like that. But yeah, I will try to make something to taco if I can. But also, I mean, I feel like you know I'm a big breakfast person too. I don't know about you guys, but like breakfast is like I could eat breakfast 3 times a day. Like,
Yeah.
See, I don't eat breakfast.
oh,
Like,
okay,
yeah, breakfast time,
right,
but I love breakfast meals.
hmm
Like French toast with bacon and sausage, all in the syrup, everything. It's just like that's dessert. Why is that breakfast?
Right.
right.
You know?
It's like one of those things.
It's always better at night for dinner anyway.
Hey, we
Dude,
do, yeah. Um, the I'm a biscuits and gravy guy. Like that's like
hot.
I feel like growing up, like that was a staple. It still is. I mean, it's you
Dude,
know,
anytime we went to a breakfast, like anywhere, that's what I ordered. That's what
yep.
I still to this day. Every once in a while, I'll do like the chicken fried steak
hmm
if it's if I know it's a decent restaurant.
Right.
But yeah, biscuits and gravy. You can't mess it up. A biscuit and
Yeah.
even the stupid pre-mixed stuff that they pass out at restaurants still
Mhm.
tastes all right. Put enough salt and pepper.
There's a
Just right.
place. There's a place over here by us. They do biscuits as a base. They do basically a scramble. You know, 3 meat scramble with gravy on top of it. Like it's like that's. I mean,
Yeah.
and
See,
I've never finished it. It's like it's literally. I think it's or 2 biscuits, so open face. So you got four top, 2 tops, 2 bottoms. I think we'll say it's like 3 or 4 eggs, 3 meats, and then the gravy. I've never finished it ever, but it's so good because it's just like
oh, dude,
it's
yeah.
one of those like breakfast ones that'll fill you up. You eat a breakfast and it fills you up till dinner almost.
Yeah, you got a hangover, go order one of those. You'll be
That's a
cured
good
for a
one there.
week.
Yeah, it's one of those things that just kind of gets you. But yeah,
Those are my favorite, dude. Like to me, that's the definition of comfort food. Like
Mhm.
one that it's just full, warm, filling, just
see. I think my biggest comfort food I can think of is aside from warm breakfast food, is chicken pot pie. Like
mm.
chicken pot pie to me, like just screams it. Just give me that. Give me just like I actually made chicken pot pie soup a few weeks. It's like a month ago, I think, with a biscuit on the side. Like
Okay, I was
just
Yeah.
gonna ask, did you
Yeah.
do
yeah,
side bread or like dumplings?
no biscuit. Like I did biscuit, yeah, like just a dry biscuit,
Mhm.
dunk in there, and
Yeah.
whatnot. But yeah,
Yeah.
chicken pot pie to me, like that's like when it's cold, chili's great and all, but like
Yeah.
I get chilied out, like,
That's
and
right.
but chicken pot pie,
Yeah. I feel you on that chili thing. I love chilies, but
J-
I feel like
Jonesy likes it
soup,
with beans.
no, I do not. You stop that.
hey, so funny story is I grew up with no beans. We never ate beans. My dad
I
always.
hate beans.
So my wife she actually makes the chili primarily. So that's one thing she
Okay.
still does to this day. So she'll make it. And I'll put it on the grill, or if if we're doing over the top chili, I'll still do it on the grill. But so
Mhm.
she does beans, and I'm okay with it. It's good. So her again, she makes her own chili, seasoning.
hmm
I don't know what's in it. It's actually probably over there somewhere. I could probably go over and find it in our bookshelf. But it's from her. I mean, it's from her family.
Oh
That
yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah.
so
Passed down stuff.
yeah, and she makes it in like a big giant mason jar. And when we're done, she fills it up again, and it's just kind of one of those things. I mean, I've tried other stuff. Like I've made my own. Like I try to copy my dad's with doing a little bit of twist, and putting brisket in it and whatnot. I mean, it's just I don't mind the beans because I'm a little I'm from Texas, sacrilege. You can crucify me about that, but like there's two types of chili. There's bean chili and there's meat chili. Like I think of like a bowl of Texas red. You're thinking of like ground beef and then some steak pieces in there. Or we use brisket.
Yeah, we call it like hot dog chili.
Yeah,
like I do a beefarizo chili where I do chorizo, ground beef, and then usually like some steak chunks or something like that. Yeah,
that sounds good.
Usually in the cast iron. Yeah,
yeah, that sounds good to me because I'll try any chili once. So, like that's the thing. Like, but also I'm big flavor. I'm not a big heat. I'm not like gonna don't blow my doors off. Give me some heat. Give me some heat for flavor. And I think that's what I think that's where some people they're like let me blow your doors off and make you breathe fire. No, I don't want that. I want to eat it and I want to keep on eating it. Because I want to come back for it.
I think there's like 4 levels of spice people, like heat spice.
Right.
Like there's the endorphin chasers. Like all they care about is how hot it can dude. I mean, whatever. Everybody has their thing, I guess. But like, all right. And then there's, I think, more people like myself. I would say, like, I don't care if it's super effing hot, as long as it tastes good.
Right.
If it's just like where it tastes like it's like you put some chemicals together that dance on my tongue, and no.
Yeah, it can be super hot and super flavorful. There's some hot sauces out there and some flavors out there. I like it where I want to get that heat and flavor, and then it dissipates.
Yeah,
like it kind of like you almost want because it makes you go back and want more.
That's right.
But yeah, see, I'm like the step above that. Like my daughter, like 2 or 3 times now, because she does it in spurts because I don't use them up that fast. I have quite the hot sauce collection now, but we're big fans of that wing interview show. I can't think of what it's called right now. Hot Ones. Thank you. Yeah. And so she orders me this box, and it's a 3-pack from the Heatonist.
Yeah.
And dude, this last one that she got me was like this unique garlic, some cosmic funk or something like that. And this other one, I can't remember the name. And so like I'm looking at them like, all right, this is the order I'm gonna try them in because this is what's gonna be the hottest.
Right.
And then she pulls out the card and she goes, no, that garlic one's the hottest. Dude, an incredible flavor, but I'm telling you,
See, I feel like
dude, Damon's out for sure.
See, and I get random. And so speaking of hedonist, have you tried their? They have one that by Korn, like the band Korn. It's called Here to Slay, and it's a corn based. Yeah, it's like the band Korn with a K. Like it's in the fridge. Try to get it, but it's corn in the hot sauce. It's almost like a elote hot sauce essentially, and it's got some nice heat to it. It's got a nice vinegar lime taste to it with the corn and a little bit of heat, but to the point where like you can almost put on I put on a taco just to kind of taste like that. It almost like you're putting like little chunks of corn because there is little bits of corn in there, but. Yeah, it's probably I'll try. And I was talking to the guys from Hedonist, where they sent me some stuff, and I was like, give me something that's going to be like flavorful, but good, but not blow my doors off. And here's what I suggest. And my favorite for the non-spicy, it has like some spice in it, is the Hot Ones barbacoa. Yeah, Hot Ones Los Calientes barbacoa.
Oh, the Los Calientes. That's a good run of hot sauces right there, and
it's so good. It's just, but it's got apricots in it. Like of all things that you're gonna throw in there, apricots. Like I don't even know what an apricot looks like. I'm pretty sure I can pick it out. But apricot, and I know what it tastes like. But it's sweet with like a chili heat, not hot at all, but it has a chili heat in it.
Oh, dude.
And I just put on sandwiches. I don't care. I put on a sandwich. Like I'll put on whatever I want.
What it's called, but the Los Calientes Verde one.
Mm-hmm. I went through that one first. That was gone. Like I don't think it made it like a week. But Yeah, there's some good hot sauces out there. There's also hot sauces you're like, no, like I've gotten some and I've just given them away as just to people.
That's
And
right.
Yeah. So I got one off of Hot Ones, and it was because I knew it was super hot. It was Mad Dog 357, only used in the first season. That's it. Because it's so hot, and there's just nothing there. It's just like this constant, like someone's got a welding torch just on your tongue. Like
I'm
and there's
feeling my back right now.
Nah.
and there's no flavor. Like I could probably even like I don't know. I'm okay with hot. I promise I'm okay with hot. But like when it's like
Fire.
I call it like a chemical heat because I can't taste any pepper or any flavor. So it's like, how did you just arrive at this level of heat?
Right. Well, so David, you don't eat heat at all.
I eat some, but I just all that real extreme hot stuff. I can't. I'm even down to like habanero. If I eat like habanero sauce, I'll start hiccuping.
Okay, see that's actually that's a thing. Like people do that. It's just the diaphragm can't control it. It's just it's so weird. It's
like what did you do to me?
Right? Yeah, I'm. It's weird. Habaneros to me are just like some habanero sauces can be really flavorful.
Yeah.
Some are just like no, like it's like it almost has like a too much. I don't know how to describe it, but like I like jalapeno. I eat jalapenos, serranos.
Yeah.
Like that.
I grow jalapenos and serranos out here.
So I don't know if it's a Texas thing, but pecan peppers, they're like this big. Like they're super tiny. And
are they round or are they just like mini jalapenos?
They're like mini jalapenos.
Yeah,
almost like a Christmas light.
Yeah.
And well, they used to, like you can literally just take the seeds and you can just take them and throw them in the ground and they'll grow. Like they're just they're sweet with heat. And like I remember my grandparents had a bush outside. My grandpa would walk outside and grab it and just pop it in his mouth, just right off the bush. But it's just like it's a very subtle heat, but like it's a big thing down here. And there's some I've seen some rubs with it in there because it kind of like it doesn't give like a super heat to it. But yeah, chili pecans are like I need to grow some just so I can do it.
Yeah,
but
I feel like Nombre's talked about them with us before.
It's big in the Hispanic culture. So like because that's where we got I grew up in like the city of Houston. Like I grew up in the city area where we had Hispanics around us all the time. So everybody had pecan peppers somewhere. I mean, my neighbor had them out in his front yard for the longest time. I'm like, I walked up and I go, it was like aloe vera bush and then like something else. And I was like, are those pecans? He's like, yeah, I think so. My dad just threw some down there, so it probably grew. They just grow. They just, they don't need much. They're just like it's almost like a weed, it just happens. So, but they're good. But you just pull them out the bush, pop in your mouth. It's like candy, Tic Tacs. So, but
what you got down there, Damon?
I think since he keeps talking about that brisket.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So I'm telling you, like I said,
the smoke ring.
And my brisket for me is like I said, the day of is great, but the day after is better. No matter what it's gonna be. But I feel like I think a brisket is a communal thing. Like your family's coming over. You have something going on. Brisket's the thing you throw down. Like it's almost like come over for Sunday dinner. Let's have some pasta. No, come over for Sunday dinner. We're gonna have some brisket. Any reason to cook a brisket, I'm gonna do it.
I love this guy.
I'm telling you, I'm like I said, I would take a beef rib over brisket, but the fact of like barbecue brings people together. Like, I mean, how many people? Like, I think of my block. How many people actually cook brisket on a regular basis? I guarantee you, on my block right now, I can probably think of maybe one, and like that's about it. Besides me, but when I have friends coming over, when I have like family, or if somebody reaches out to me to say, "Hey, can you make me a brisket?" Dude, I get giddy. Like I want the process. And one thing I do miss is doing it on an offset. I don't have an offset right now. That's like going to be like I'm pretty sure down the road. but I actually just got a big green egg not too long ago, so I'm excited.
Ooh,
Yeah. So
I'm a little jealous there.
I haven't touched it yet. I haven't touched it. Like it's still in my garage. Like it's like,
man. How long have you had it?
only like 2 weeks. Oh yeah, 3 weeks.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's still a lot. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I got it and I left. I traveled, traveled, then camping. So I'm hoping
you should have just took it camping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back it is.
Man, you know how bad that thing was? Oh,
dude.
Yeah, I'm like.
Which one did you get?
The large.
Okay, yeah.
So it was gifted to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was but brisket to me, like that's like I'm just looking at videos of brisket right now. Oh, I found brisket week. Oh, brisket week was I'm just reliving brisket week real quick because I mean just the brisket itself, then brisket banh mi, brisket tacos.
So here's a good talk. How do you reheat your brisket?
It depends what I'm going for. So if I'm doing if I'm doing like brisket burn ends, obviously I'll just sauce them up and do it. But if I'm doing like the banh mi, so I can do it 2 ways. Either I'm gonna sous vide style it.
Bingo. That's what I was going for right there.
Sounds like you're making Robert hungry. But now the sous vide style is great. But honestly, I'm gonna be upfront and honest. I'm lazy sometimes.
Oh,
so I'll wrap it. Yeah, I'll take a paper towel, get it wet, wrap it up, and then do it in 15-second increments. So yeah, I'm probably sitting there longer than I should because if there's slices. Now if it's
in the
whole,
microwave,
yeah, wrap it up with a wet.
Brilliant. Yep.
But because now it's not going to be perfect because obviously the sous vide way is the best way to go. Now, if you're reheating it whole, just go and just do it. Try to in the oven. Like I don't even do that anymore whole because it's just not like it's gonna dry it out.
No, yeah.
But what I'll do is if it's already pre-sliced, wrap it up with a wet paper towel in like 15 to 30-second increments, just to make sure you're not gonna I mean you're essentially gonna steam it, but you don't want to burn it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But like now, if I'm gonna do obviously like chop then obviously I'll chop it all up and then I'll reheat it with some sort of liquid, like whether it be like a sauce, like if I'm doing chopped beef. But I tend to try to not, like I said, with brisket banh mi, that's what I did. I did 2 slices, I cut it cold, wrapped it up, and then put it in there because I'm only doing 2 or 3 slices at a time. Now for breakfast tacos, I will take it and sear it off because I want a little more crust.
Yeah, crisp, of course.
But man, I've had friends try to say, "Oh, can you freeze me a brisket?" I'm like, I don't.
Yes, but here's the deal.
So like if somebody says, "Hey, I want to do a brisket for a family event, can you do it for me?" And then I'll reheat it the next day. I said, "Dude, I will drive it over to your house when it's done, or come get it. I would say when I pull it off the grill, come get it. It'll be good for hours.
Yeah.
Like just don't worry about that. Like." Because this is why I don't think I could ever open a restaurant or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would lose and don't get me wrong, like the restaurants have it down pat. But sometimes
they have it down to a science with all the right equipment, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
So I would have to change up my method, and which is fine. I'd learn and adapt to it, but also like if something is off by even like the littlest bit, I'm going to lose it. I mean,
well, you lose your customers too because you're not consistent with your taste.
Oh, for sure.
And see, that's my biggest thing about restaurant, pop-up, all that, whatever being, is eventually to build that customer base, they expect consistent.
Yep.
Consistent. So this is such a therapy. Like, that's really why I started it. I was into a lot of other stuff online, and it just kept me like pissed off at the world and blah, 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 blah. So I cook all the time, was posting pictures, and heard a friend was doing this, had no idea the community was so huge. And like, it's been one of the greatest things that's ever happened.
Yeah.
Like mentally, like friendship wise, and like where this could go for any one of us. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I keep losing my train of thought. What were we talking about? I'm getting old, Damon.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about the what are you saying?
Brisket. We were talking about brisket.
Just in general, I feel like really going back to what I said, like brisket to me is like I want to be perfect. I want it to be like I think we're all like this, and this is where uh, I'm my hardest critic. You
Oh
know,
yes, yeah.
Mhm.
like my wife would be like, oh, this is the best. I'm like, yeah, like it's a little tough, or like it could have. I mean, it took a little too long or too short, or whatever. Because I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I've so we did competition barbecue with my dad and like stuff like that. So like we would do barbecue, we would do briskets, a ton because we would also do competition, but it was a little more than that. We had to feed people too.
Yeah.
So like I've done thousands of briskets. How many I messed up, I don't know. But like even now, like to this day, like I mean, I still mess up. I mean, I'm gonna post a mess up, and I'll be honest with it. But like,
Yeah.
there's just sometimes. I mean, I haven't really had like when I think of mess ups, they're perfect for somebody else. You know what I mean? Like for my mess ups, it's my own personal mess up, not a mess up where it tastes like shoe leather.
Right.
It's still
Yeah.
gonna be good. I
I
think
have one mess up like that. The first time I did poor man burnt ends, dude.
ooh, I can't do them. I don't know. Do you do it whole and then cut it, or do you in
So
pieces?
I
I
do.
did it whole after so the first time I cut it down like pork belly, but I
Mm,
was like, oh, I want to get a little more smoke flavor. I'll leave them a little bit bigger.
right.
And then if they're too big for a bite, I'll just cut them smaller.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what messed me, dude. I literally was like, dude, these aren't tenderizing. These aren't tenderizing. These aren't tenderizing. So I just, and like, I'm like, dude, these are hot. Like, what is going on, dude? When I bit into them, like, it's like biting into the front of a Converse almost.
Hmm.
And I was just like, what happened? And so then I was like, well, I have nothing to lose. So the next day, when I finished cooking something, it was low temp, and I was like, I'm just gonna let them sit, and maybe they'll break down, and like I'll at least get like pulled beef, something.
Right.
Nope,
No.
not even close, dude. They just kept going. I didn't even give them to the dogs. So I'm like, man, it'll chip my little guy's teeth.
So that's what I've done it both ways, and the only success I've ever really had is keeping it whole
Yep.
and then cutting it down. But again, I was the same way, and that's why like the first time I did, I kept it whole, cut it up, and it was good. And I'm like, but then I saw a bunch of people.
Tons of people.
Yeah, I'm like, how? Like,
Yeah,
and it's not, and I'm not buying some. It's not select by any means at all.
Right.
yeah.
It's good. It's good marbling and whatnot. But like, there's just things you're just like, really, I can't. How is this not,
I
rendering?
can't. I can't do it. So another one for me is smoked mac and cheese. I've never been
Ooh.
able to keep it creamy. Never. It gets too dried out.
So one of I just did it and I copied Matt Gork Boys Barbecue.
That one that spoonful thing, dude. Whoa.
Dude,
Okay.
so Google his, try it
Yeah,
out.
I
And
follow
now
Matt. Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I mean, like, so when I think of mac and cheese, because I used to, because so when I worked at a bar, I would also like work in the kitchen. I would make my own stuff. Like we would make
Yeah.
up, we could make mac and cheese if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Make
Yep.
homemade mac and cheese sauce. Um, but I'm telling you, like, it's so it's not like, oh, I'm going to use three types of whole cheeses. He uses Velveeta in there as a base for it versus using flour and getting the roux and stuff like that. So it is a roundabout way, but I've made it twice now, and I actually froze. So the second time I froze it, and I put vacuum sealed it and froze it, took it out, added just a little bit of milk to it, like it was never there. Like it's just
No way.
Wow.
Okay,
I still
that's
I still
impressive.
have one. I still have one. Like whenever, like for instance, like whenever the kids devoured it. Like I'm telling you, like
Okay.
it's good.
All right.
Just Google his because there's not really he didn't really have a recipe for it. Like I think oh gosh some other influencer did a recipe of her play off of it, but there's a video of him and his boys doing it and that. So
What's
it
up,
was a real
Rio?
good. Yeah, it's good. It's probably one of my.
So,
It's the only place I do it.
was this one of it?
Yep,
Oh,
that's it.
yeah. See, what the?
So like this is
That's
and this
what I'm
is
talking about.
a little pulled pork action
Oh,
on it. Yeah.
my
Oh,
God. Okay. So here's a question. pulled pork mac and cheese, is that how you're gonna do it right there? Or have you ever done it with the pulled pork in the mac and cheese and smoked it?
No, I'd rather do it that way. I think.
I've done it
Okay.
both.
What'd you say, David?
I said I've done it both ways.
You've done it both ways.
But I'd rather do it like that because it seems to dry the barbecue out too much to me.
Yep. So that was actually, we did that for we had some my wife's friends were over and they were like, she's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, pork butt. It's you can feed a lot of people and everybody likes it. Everybody's gonna like, because there's people who aren't gonna be a fan of brisket. You know, like there's gonna be like, oh, it's because people like we're talking about way back when is it oh I don't like briskets.
There's
too
stigmas.
smoky.
Yeah, there's stigmas. Yeah. You don't even really believe that or know that, but it's just in your head.
Oh, for sure. But I'm telling you, like that one, that was the first one. The second one, no, maybe that was the second. That was the one I froze. I don't remember because they were pretty too close back to back times. No, that is the one I froze. And man, I'm telling you, so I had two. I took it out. I still have one more left. And when the kid, so I was originally gonna do it for mac and cheese, like for mac and cheese burger. Yeah. But then like I'm like the kids are eating it, so I'm like, why ruin it? So I'll just do it again, you know. But it's simple, it's quick too. That's one thing I do like about that. The hardest part is just getting all the stuff together. Like you have to melt down the Velveeta, which takes no time at all. That's the hardest part for me. Right. So I think that's to me is the cheesiest one.
Dude, I want to do some like mac and cheese egg rolls with bacon and like all kinds of different stuff, but I can't ever nail mac and cheese, and I'm not gonna do a box mac and cheese. So I can't even eat that stuff anymore, you know. So I mean, I can.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. So my family, we went from box, like the blue box, to shells and cheese because my girls love the shells. You know, with the liquid paste, you stick. You know, like my wife is still like, oh, I'm a blue box with everything like that. I'm like, I don't care what it is. It's mac and cheese to me. You know.
So I'm a chubby guy. Mac and cheese is mac and cheese.
Hey, you don't get this way by eating. You don't make friends by making salads. I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly. And then they started grilling salad. What happened there?
Hey, watch, dude, grilled salad. I've been doing this for years.
You done it before,
dude. My dad like
you grill your lettuce and then you make the salad.
So it's super simple. Which I don't think I've ever posted about it. But like we do it like because I almost should because like it's so simple. Take a romaine heart, cut it in half, olive oil, salt and pepper, and then you grill it on both sides. And you cut it up, and then you can put. I like to do some sort of nut with it, green apple, and then if you want cheese, if you want to do cheese, maybe do like a feta or blue. I'm not a big blue cheese fan, so like feta is good. But like and like that's it. There's no dressing. That's just. I mean, if you want to add some more olive oil, that's fine. You can do that. But like you don't do it very long. You just hit it, and then like that's it. But like, dude, I remember like back in when I was in high school and in college, my dad was making freaking grilled lettuce. Like the first time he ever started doing it, I'm like, you're crazy. Like who the hell's gonna grill lettuce and like it? And then I tried it. I'm like, this is game changer. Like to me, it's good.
Yeah, like my parents got me these like I think they're Kevlar bags. They're grill bags, and they snap at one end. So you can fill them up with stuff.
Yeah.
Dude. Grill whatever over charcoal Brussels sprouts is like, dude.
I'm a sucker for a good
broccoli.
Brussels sprout. I'm a sucker for a good Brussels sprout.
Yeah. Yes, me too. You know what's funny? Like I remember my dad made them one time. I don't know if you've seen them or whatever, but when I was a kid, I'm like these tiny little cabbages are nasty. These are disgusting.
Oh, I didn't touch them when I was a kid.
Yeah, and then like now it's literally my favorite vegetable.
It's crazy because I love it, and give it to me sweet. Actually, probably one of the best ways I've ever had it. I actually was at of all places, and like I was traveling. This is probably about 5 years ago. I was at I don't know gosh, I can't think of the damn name. BJ's Brewhouse. And they do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's not so much the way they did it; it's the way that like it wasn't like they were the best. Is the way they did it. So I took it back and did it at home, and it's sweet. It's like maple syrup in it, bacon, and they top it with a almost like a spicy mayo aioli. And
what?
Yeah, it's just because it's you cook them how you normal do it however you want to. Basically, just keep the seasoning simple, salt and pepper only, because all your flavors coming from the maple syrup, the bacon, and the spicy aioli on there. Because it's not spicy, it's just got that nice little heat to it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
actually, it was actually maybe honey. Now I think about it, it probably maple syrup. It was probably honey, but
Nice.
yeah, it's
Good grief.
yeah. I'm like I would. So I mean, don't just because I look like this doesn't mean I don't eat my vegetables. I eat my vegetables.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
exactly. That's like
well,
people are like, you need to eat less. I'm like, but I get all the veggies I like vegetables.
yeah, dude. I have a freaking my 6.5-year-old will eat salad. Like that's what she wanted for dinner the other night. So I just want salad. I'm like, what 6-year-old wants to have freaking salad like for dinner? I'm like, you're crazy.
Yeah,
I'm
we took a grandbaby to a buffet, a nice like buffet place in town, and they got like chicken tenders, all kinds of like stuff you think like build your own tacos, nachos, whatever. She eats like a little plate of like the stuff you would think she's gonna eat,
right.
and then she's like, "Can I have a salad?" And we're like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah, of course you
And
can.
comes back with this
Don't-
mountain and ate like 90% of it. I was like,
That's awesome.
"Damn."
We just do it all. We call it hobo style. Put it all in a bowl and just pass it around, and you catch your own fork and just stab it and go. So I mean, I love it. I mean, it's
I love salads.
now counter opposite of that. We're talking about trends, and I just scrolled across this was two things that I absolutely love, and I know Damon. I know I've seen you. You just did this recently, not too long ago. Smoked bologna.
Yep.
Dude,
So
I just
The
don't
biggest
like
hot
it,
dog,
man.
the biggest hot dog ever, Jonesy.
I know. I just
Well, let me ask you this: so is it because it's a hot dog consistency, or what? Or you just like bologna?
no. I just have never liked. I love hot dogs, but I just have never liked bologna. I don't know what it is. They're
So
different. They are
Yeah.
different people.
here's the
Not
thing.
much, but they're different.
So I'll tell you this. So we grew up eating the cheapest hot dogs possible, and
Mhm.
cheapest bologna possible because that's what we did.
Yeah.
But then we started getting all beef hot dogs. Changed in my mind about like how just all beef hot dogs rich and is good. And then
there
I
he
think
is.
I think one of the greatest things is I love bologna, but all beef bologna totally different.
Yep.
Hmm.
It is.
Like it's one of those things. Regular bologna is good and all,
Yep.
but all beef bologna consistency is different. The flavor is different. And when I see beef bologna chubs on sale, people, if you don't like beef, you don't like bologna beef. If you won't try regular bologna, try beef bologna.
Yeah.
Like, but
All right.
because
Here's the deal. If I'm somewhere and it's made, I will. I'm not gonna.
All right.
I'm not into buying stuff I'm want because I don't like to
Yeah.
waste.
All right. I'll
What-
bring
what-
some in September.
what
All
about bologna, smoked bologna burnt ends?
Have not done that yet.
I did that forever ago. I smoked the chub, then I had leftovers. I cubed it up and re-smoked it, and with some actually, it's crazy enough. This guy's mustard sauce was what I served it with, I believe.
Yeah.
That's good mustard sauce.
Like, yeah, it's gangster, that's for sure. And the
I
second
love
thing,
that. See, what's funny is he always talks about all this heat, all this heat, all this heat, but like
There ain't
this
that
has
much
got
heat.
but it's got that decent little kick right
Yeah,
at it.
I can
I
stand
love
that.
it.
but it's a different thing.
Yeah,
It's a
and it-
vinegar. It's a vinegar heat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing. So I just did these a couple days ago. Breakfast fatties too. That's another. I feel like those have been around for forever. But I feel like
Forever,
fatties.
yeah.
But fatties retrended again. Like I mean,
Mhm.
we used to call them bacon explosions. When we were at competitions, we would do it for Saturday morning breakfast, or actually it'd be Friday or Saturday morning breakfast. They would call it bacon explosions, and it was the same thing.
Okay.
But now it's called breakfast. Now it's called fatties. Rolling a fatty,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
but I feel like now you can do whatever you want inside of it. Mac and cheese. You can do Philly cheesesteak. You
Yeah,
can do
see, the mac
anything.
and cheese one pulls on my heartstrings. That's why I got to nail the mac and cheese recipe.
Right? And I'm a breakfast fatty. Like that's like
Okay.
that to me, like the cheese and the egg in there. But my ultimate favorite, I did this for one of our local grill shops in town. It is muffins, blueberry muffins. So you take whole cooked blueberry muffins, crumble it up in the fatty, which bacon. So people don't know, bacon weave, sausage,
Dude.
and then crumbled up muffins. Roll it up. I'm telling. So I have it on there from like probably about, I think it was back in December. I did it, and gosh,
Yeah, I just recently seen somebody do the Little Debbie like that.
The oatmeal ones. I don't know who that was, but
I can't remember the exact name of them.
yeah, and I saw it on TikTok. I think when I saw it, and I was like, that'd be interesting. I mean, I love me some oatmeal cookies, oatmeal cream pies. So
yeah, it was cream pies. Yeah, myself, cream pies.
Yeah, but
well, damn, dude, this is the longest show in foodie history.
And we could probably go for another 2 hours. It seems like.
I mean, but it's what
you said. You know what that means, since we can go on for another 2 hours.
What's that mean?
You coming back some other time,
dude? I'm telling you, so that is my my MO. My wife will say this. There's no way to say a quick goodbye in Texan, and there's no way to get a Texan to shut up either. And I'm telling you, I'll talk till I'm hoarse, and I'll talk until, and this is sober me. Imagine a little. I mean, I had one beer tonight. Imagine if I had more. I mean, there'd be a lot more loose lip stories, I'm sure. But you know, we're here for barbecue and fun, and this is but hell, you know. You tell me, we can pull the plug whenever. I can come back another time, and if you have any more questions, I'll keep it short and concise.
We do got a question from the crowd.
What's the question?
Good luck, man. Oh shit, what? Leprechaun too. Girl Dad, what cooking technique or equipment are being slept on, and or why, and or overused, and why?
Ooh, keep that question up there so I can look at this for a second.
Yeah.
So cooking. So I'm gonna break this down. I'm gonna give you some multiple answers here.
Oh.
Because I think cooking technique that's overused, to me, it's just not my favorite. I literally have tried it, and I think it's sous vide. I think there's a place for sous vide. I think it's in restaurants.
For warming your feed back up.
Yeah, for warming your brisket up. No, I think it's great for restaurants. You know,
absolutely, yes.
I think there's a place for it. If you want to do some duck, maybe I think it's great for duck and poultry for restaurants and for steaks too. But like, it's just not going to be. I think it's very, very overused. I think it's meant to be. It's a restaurant thing that's been brought into the forefront. Like, I mean, if you can infuse your food and steak with flavors, that's fine. But like, I'm gonna sous vide something for 36 hours, and like, really, like, that's to me, it's not there. It's to me, it's overused. I mean, and if you sous vide people, there's people out there who sous vide like crazy and they can do well at it. All power to you. I'm not gonna sous vide a beef short rib for 36 hours. You know, I want that short rib. You know, either, you know, I want it faster in 36 hours.
Yeah, for sure. That's the first problem with that.
Yeah. And then in the sous, like I said, sous vide has its place in restaurants and reheating your food. It's a cool device. I have one. I don't think I've used it. Like, you know, this is a new one I got. I've used it maybe twice. So, slept on, man. So I don't think it's really slept on, because I mean, I think it's just it's a simple product. And that's the pit barrel cooker, you know, with the rods. I don't think it's really slept on, because a lot of people use it, but it's very simple. It's a very for what I say, if somebody wants to do a barrel smoker, you know, you can do that thing, and it's pretty inexpensive. You can find them secondhand. You know, I think that's to me, honestly, like, that probably makes one of the best ribs. You know, I love my pellet grill, and they make good ribs. A lot of
people say that.
And I love my pellet grill ribs, but there's something about that charcoal, with the way the science behind it, the vortex of it all. I think that's one of the ones that I'm like, people use it. People use it and love it, and tons of it. But like, that's why there's so many of those drum smokers nowadays, because, you know, people used to just hand make those. I mean, my little brothers in college, they have one. My dad went down to the restaurant supply, bought a 55-gallon drum that used to hold lime juice, and then built it for him. You know, I got my pit barrel cooker, the actual branded one, off secondhand, and I use it solely just for ribs, and I'd use it for competition chicken. But yeah, I mean, But yeah, that's like, I think that's like equipment wise. But yeah, I don't know. That's slept on. I don't know. There's not a lot of stuff slept on. I feel like a lot of people like. There's nothing really like nothing really comes to mind of like blows people away right now. It's something I feel like barbecue's due for a big not revolution, but breakthrough. Yeah, like breakthrough because like I feel like the pellet grill was there. Kamado style's been around for forever. Pellet grill was there. Um,
Have you seen the new pellet grills they're coming out with?
which one? Like which?
That you can offset, and if you walk away from it, there's a temperature controller that'll slowly start up the pellets to keep that temperature. So it's literally an offset. I think Spits and Pits make one.
Oh, so okay, so yeah, they have. I saw that yesterday.
Companies, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that at the rodeo the other day. I didn't get to talk to the guy about it, but it's offset on one side and pellet on the other. So actually, they work in conjunction. Is that what you're saying?
So as far as I understand it, yeah, the technology they're working on now is that you can sit and offset as long as you want. Keep adding charcoal or wood, whatever.
Right.
But then, if you just wanted to do that for like 4 hours of cooking a brisket and then go to bed, then you just make sure your hopper's full and you go to bed, and the pellets take over to maintain 250.
That's crazy because Pits and Spits is from Houston. Like that's like they're literally down here where I'm at.
Okay.
And man, I had my dad had a badass Pits and Spits grill. They used to have one of those, a clamshell. And they still have some, or now coming on Pitmaker makes it now. But it was like basically like the top of it would overhang on the bottom of it. It would open up like this and offset. It was cool, and it was back when I was a kid. But yeah, they've been around for forever. I think we're only a couple, handful of USA made grills. But yeah, I saw that the other day at the rodeo. I went to the rodeo with the family, and they had a booth there. I didn't get to talk to them. There's another company out there that's all, but like, you think about it, they're just kind of like merging two products into one.
Yeah.
But like it's still. But I'm thinking like there's got to be some sort of like evolution or revolution. Like I feel like the pellet grill's been around for a while. There's got to be something. Like somebody's gonna come up with some crazy invention. Like somebody's gonna come up with something crazy and just kind of. Blow
I'm trying to think of what it could be. Like if I knew, I would.
I wouldn't say it if I knew it.
No, I know, right?
Yeah, I'd be.
We're gonna keep rolling with some questions real quick because there's people still here participating. Does brisket in brisket cooking? Does the chef or the product matter more?
I think it's a good marriage of both. Because you have to have. I don't care what people say. Like, oh, I can cook a select brisket and I can make it good. Yeah, you probably could. You're gonna have to make it hot and fast and make sure it's because you can't go low and slow. Otherwise, it's gonna be a piece of jerky. And like I don't know when's the last time I cooked anything else besides I always go for choice Angus or higher if I'm at the store.
Yeah.
Because choice Angus is a little better than choice. But so. I think you have to have a good quality cut of meat. That's the biggest thing. You have to, and I'm not saying for somebody who has done one brisket in their life to go out and buy, the big three letter name brand out there that costs $16 a pound. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm not going to give them any clout because that's just, I've only bought one time and I feel like it was under.
I have a whole theory behind that. We can get to off live because I won't bury anybody for no reason, and I don't know the whole story. So,
I mean, I'm telling you, like you don't have to get a quality cut, like the big $16-17, but get something good. But also, where I think a lot of people do is they kind of just try crazy asinine things, like oh, do I have to inject it at home every time? No, you don't. Like, so I think the person itself matters because it all goes back to I think what we all learned is KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Like brisket, is just it's a very tough cut, but keeping it simple and not going all crazy. I mean, that's where I used to like try to make how can I make this better? How can I do it better at home? It's different. My home cooking versus competition versus what I would serve is so different. Like I just want a good tasting brisket, but some people, and I have friends like this, they want everything broken down to them step by step by step by step.
Yeah.
Barbecue is not like that. That's one thing, especially brisket cooks. Like, I've done 1,000 briskets. Let's say I've done 1,000 briskets. Every brisket was different.
At least like 987 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I could literally get a brisket from each side of the cow from the same cow, and it's going to cook different. So, Damon, I don't think I've ever seen you without a hat on.
Hey man, you ain't gonna see that often.
I know.
No, you won't see it too often.
I've never seen you without a hat on, so it's just kind of weird.
I ain't got no hair, bro.
Hey, real quick, back to that. I do kind of agree with this. Kettles are slept on. Not that people don't have them and use them, but there's very few people like that are out there constantly cooking. Like Weber Ninja, who popped on, said hello. Guy followed Dan Lopez, and we all know Tuffy Stone's legendary collection and stuff. But a lot of like a foodie accounts, you don't see tons of Weber posts.
Yeah. So Food Meets Fire, used to be Barbecue Steve. He's a Weber guy through and through. And I'm telling you, so I have my kettle. I love my kettle. Like that was the first.
I'd probably cook on that more than offset pellet or anything else because it's.
Well, for a while. That was all I was using for my weekday cooks because I can fire up charcoal like that. Like it's some people make it out like, oh, I've got to fire up my charcoal. Like, but no, it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
And then so one thing I did think about slept on is as soon as I kills PK grills. I think those are slept on.
Okay.
Because like you think about PK grills, like you think of like for competition steak. I feel like that's like a big thing for steaks. But I was just at their grill shop and I talked to the PK guy for sales. He told me the history of PK grills, and I was like, I didn't know that. Like they were around forever, and and then I think it says Charbroil or Char-Griller bought them just to stop making them back in the 70s. So like, and like those things are all aluminum, and like those things last forever. Like he has one from 1940 something, 1945. It's still rolling to this day.
Damn, that's
like,
crazy.
Because the aluminum just holds still, like it's just there. So that's
they can get hot fast.
Oh yeah, but I will say I love my kettle. Like it's now I won't say I don't really smoke on it anymore. It's more for like, well, I'll do for quick smoking, because I want like anything under 6 hours, I'll do it. But
I'm probably same.
Yeah, like that's just like I couldn't imagine doing it. Like I see people do briskets on it, and like more power to you. I've done it before. I've done a small brisket on there before with the snake method around the side or on the outside, and it's not for me. Like
I'm not your guy either for that one.
But I respect it if you're doing that. That's like, that's tough right there.
That's Weber dedication right there. So.
Yep.
If someone could describe your food style in one sentence or paragraph, what would they say about you? That's a cool question.
That is a damn good question. Man. Crazy.
The next one is a good one too.
Okay.
I'm pulling up.
So I think there's how if somebody would describe it, I would say he's gonna push the limits. But there's no different style. I want every style melded into one. So if you could think of anything, that's not really a sentence. But here's the thing. I think if somebody would describe it, say he puts everything into one. He wants so much flavor and so much passion in each bite. No matter it be barbecue, whether it be tacos, whether it be steak. Hell, I'll even smoke a lobster. I don't care what it is.
Oh, it's money, dude.
Yeah. But
don't
I think
sleep on that.
No. And keep it simple. Keep it simple. But, I want to make sure that I can make food for anybody. I can make sure that anybody can duplicate it from whether it be Joe somebody or another influencer. But like, no matter if you have $20 in your pocket or $2,000 in your pocket, I want to make sure that you can do it. That's what, my Instagram is. But like, for me personally, I'm a hodgepodge, just like the state I live in, Texas, we're a hodgepodge of flavors.
It's like stacking up. It's like stacking up life experiences. I want to try it all. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want to try I want everything. I take a piece from everything. You're not gonna catch me doing French cuisine though. You're not gonna catch me doing that. But I have
That's
influence.
another realm, dude.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, but like, give me Texas barbecue, give me Asian influence, give me Hispanic Mexican culture from being down in Texas as well. I have German cooking, like it just there's so much we can just pull, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like a hodgepodge. Like it's like a hodgepodge of flavor. I mean, I want something that I want to be able to make sure that anybody can eat anything. So I don't know if that really answers the question, but in my mind it kind of did.
All right, this is a real good one. Maybe we might end it on this one unless there's one more banger. What are your weaknesses, and are you honing in on or sharpening as of lately?
One thing I would say this, and this goes for in life, in work, in barbecue. Never, you always have weaknesses, but you look at weaknesses as a way to grow, and that's how life should be. You're always learning. You can never. If somebody says, "Oh, I don't," I'm, nobody's perfect. There's nobody perfect at all. I think one of my biggest things is how I can, when it comes to cooking, what can I do to get that next step? If I'm thinking like as an influencer, I'm thinking like, what can I do to make that next step? To what can I do for my food? Because I know my food tastes good. Visually, some of it looks good, I think. But like, I think for my thing, because I always want to make myself better. Like, so I teeter back and forth with ribs, with flavor profiles, because I'm like I love a Texas style rib, but I love a sweet style rib too. So I'm like, I would love, and I've tried it. I've tried this way, and I think I've got it down where I have a Texas sweet, and I have like, that's where I'm like kind of focusing right now, because I make ribs. We're talking about not posting everything. I make more ribs than I do that nobody ever sees, because my wife will eat it because she's a rib queen, and my mother is too. My girls will eat it too. So like, luckily there's a lot of ribs out there, but like, I would never make a rub because it's just too much work. There's a lot of rub companies out there, and I respect them because they do the hustle. But I think I think my rib game is where I'm kind of like, I'm like trying to focus on right now. But I think my weakness right now is I'm over for we're going back to brisket. I've made I think this year alone, or this in the past year, I think I've been happy with, me personally. The briskets have been great. I've been happy with maybe one or two, because it's just, you're perfectionist, like they look great, they taste great. There's always one thing different.
Every time I'm like,
I tried to do that foil boat method where you leave it uncovered. It looked great. The bark looked great. It was too tough on the outside, because obviously it's like unwrapped brisket, But yeah, I think that's my only, like, that's my only weakness. That's the primary weakness, is I want to make sure that keeping it simple is where it needs to be, but also I love to test the waters. I will mess up some stuff, and I will. Sometimes you'll see it, sometimes you'll never see it. If it messes up, it goes into a chili, it goes into a stew, like the dry, the dry skit.
The dry tip,
like the dry tip, yeah. And but yeah, that's I just love, and I don't care if 10 people like my stuff. I don't care if 1,000 people like my stuff. I'm out here to have fun, and if I can have one person message me saying, "Hey, how do you do this?" or "How do you do that?" then I've done it. That to me, that's one of those things that just kind of, it's a I don't need glory. I don't need a pat on the back. It just makes you feel good when somebody says, "Hey," they ask you a question, because I know I did that same thing with somebody. And barbecue is about the gathering of the families, the growing, because there's somebody else putting food on their table around their family. So yeah, but that's where I think that's another weakness is I want to make sure that, at first we were talking about this before, how do we break away from wanting to look at numbers versus doing what you do for passion wise. So, and if it becomes all about numbers for me soon, I'd walk away. And but it's still passion. That's what somebody asked me the other day. It was like, do you still enjoy it? I said, "Oh, I love it." Like, it's just,
exactly.
It's not just the food. It's not anything but just the family, because barbecue is family. It's So it can be crazy sometimes. There's crazy stuff out there, but there's family for sure.
All right. Well, I think we'll go with this one, and we'll answer it all together. I'll go first, Damon, and then we'll end with Kris, and then we'll call this one because I know it's getting late over on the East Coast for Damon.
Well, he don't have to work tomorrow. I mean,
I do. I mean, I know it's early over here, but I still have to get up at 4:20 in the morning. So
yeah, I'm getting up early and heading out tomorrow. So I got you.
All right. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Another one from T. Carmack. Says Girl Dad, but we're all going to answer this one. If you had to cook in the woods for a group of 8 and could only take 4 things with you, what 4 things would you take? All right. So for me, my Dutch oven, because it's a pot and the lid's a skillet. A good knife. Doesn't matter. One of my good ones. A wood cutting board, because wood is way better for your knives. And some type of grabbing apparatus. I'm assuming we don't have to put the food in those 4 things too. So those are my 4 utensils.
Yeah, they were pretty good too. Kind of hard to follow that one, but I mean, you're gonna have to have something to harvest an animal with. You got to have something to start a fire. Like you said, a good piece of cast iron and a good blade. I mean, you pretty much sit.
All right. He went with we got to get the animal out there. Okay.
See, I don't know which way we already go, and I immediately when I thought about this, I'm like, if we're taking 4 things, and because I'm thinking like the meat is already there, like how John said, how you were saying, like the meat was already there. So I would definitely go cast iron too, because that's I feel like it's one of the most versatile dishes, cooking apparatuses you can do that is simple for cooking in the woods. A blade, number 2. I'm not gonna do a cutting board because I thought about that, and that was my third option. So I'm gonna think about. Oh, that's man. Let's see.
Plus the cutting board's a plate too. So
I was thinking about bark, about using tree bark or something like that.
Dang, you're way more clever.
Yeah, or something, or what?
I said use a tree bark for presentation.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's why your picture. That's why your cook got 10,000 views and mine only got 400. There it is, right there. It's the bark. Man.
Yeah. So I got a Dutch oven. I got a knife. I'm gonna have some hot gloves because it's gonna be freaking hot, but also, because you're thinking about you have to, you're using the plates. I have sensitive hands. I need hot gloves.
I don't anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's something is I would definitely use hot gloves because I want to be able to make sure I'm having to, it's something to hold it with and take it off the fire if I need to, and also to manually adjust the fire too. If I'm having an open fire, I can actually move. I can grab a fiery log and use it too.
Yeah.
And then last thing would have to be salt. Because if anything else, I got to have something. Because also, talking about meat, you can also preserve the meat a little bit too if you had some salt.
Yeah.
So,
man, between all of us 3, I think we covered that whole scenario.
We got a bunch of cast iron in the woods.
Although we would need Damon just to come shoot the animal at least, or to harvest it. We'll say that.
Yeah, apparently we're showing up with all the all the stuff to do, but still starving.
in my mind, that's what it is. Like my mind, it's because I think of woods, we're going out there camping, or because harvesting one because if you're gonna think about harvesting it, you can't bring we're gonna snare it. What are we gonna do? Because I
know a lot of primitive traps. I'm just saying.
I would say I haven't done snares in probably 20 years.
Time, yeah.
Yeah, it's not really something I do, but but also I will if it comes to living. But also here's a second part of that question: are we cooking for fun? Is it like an entertainment thing, or are we having to survive? Because we're making some nice little rats, some like nice little ground rat stew or something like that, or snake. I'll eat snake all day. But there's always that. I like that question because it had everybody thinking a little bit different ways. So that's pretty good.
Well, folks, we cranked out a man, dude. This is a long one, man.
You stuck around. I appreciate you.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude. It's been a blast hanging out with you, man.
Absolutely.
Hey man, I'm down. This was awesome. I enjoyed it so much. And hey, if maybe next time we don't do 3 hours, but
Yeah.
if they're like, hey, and everybody out there, they're probably like, this guy's never coming back on again. We can't take this again. But you know what?
No.
I just love talking about this stuff, and you guys are awesome. It's just, and that's just where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be just about just sitting around, just chatting it up. So I thank you guys for having me on too.
No, we appreciate you coming.
Absolutely. Everybody, thanks again for coming. Love all you people who stuck around this long for sure. Go follow Kris down in the ticker right there. IG, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. It's at Girldadbbq.
That's right.
The pink logo.
Yep. Pink Texas logo.
Right.
Can't miss it.
Don't forget Friday or Thursday night with the Rev, and Friday. I don't remember who we have. I can't remember. I'm so bad at it, but I know next Sunday.
And then we got
Ukulele Jay.
Hey, Ukulele.
I'm not supposed to give it away yet, but hey, there's a first time for everything. Have a good week. Rest of your week.